Hey guys, I want to preface this first by thanking you guys for absolutely smashing it to 1,000 subscribers. It is an amazing experience. I will make a full video covering that. But today's video is very serious. Now, we're going to be diving into the full docs that Hexjuice had provided to us. But before, I want to cover a few things. Now, I mentioned briefly in the video that I covered that situation before, but I didn't remember it because like this is what happened at the time. Like if I scroll on a little bit, this is the video. Tectone exposed himself, right? A 2-hour video reviewing that where I had to private this video. And why I had to private this video is because like I crashed out so hard on the situation because like I was literally feeling like, extremely upset. I got extremely upset by the way Tectone treated her at the time, and uh, it was so bad how I crashed out at us privated because like I s- I got so enraged by the whole situation, and maybe go into that not in full details but in good enough details. Now, if you don't know who Hexjuice is, Hexjuice was one of the many content creators that Tectone wronged, but she's one in a different stint. She's one that Tectone brought up as somebody that was going to be a part of his henchmen. So she knows Tectone inside out, which makes this burn even more. She made sure to do a few things that really pissed off Tectone's fans, which is like not making comments available in her videos anymore, or her comments, which is gonna piss off people a lot. And this was the link to the documents that we are going into. This was when she quit around 9 months ago and made that she was gonna take a hiatus, and I think she's now gone completely. But she just came back to shit on Tectone. And people call her a snake. I completely understand that. It is what it is. Let's get into the full document because like at the time I made it, the video, it was also TLDR to show you guys that this is here. Now, as you know, I'm a gacha content creator, so reading is not my best skills, but you know, we'll try to get over that with all the receipts here as well, so you can see some bit of it. So, hello all. It's been a while. Some of you might guess, given my complete absence from the internet, but I will not be returning from to content creation. I find myself compelled to talk about why that is now. Due to the release of the court documents regarding Pink and Tectone. So it is because of that, right? While there are many reasons for my permanent retirement from content creation, the primary one is that I know that Tectone would never allow me to be free of my association with him. I deeply regret my association with him. Like, in order for you to have somebody that deeply regret your being a friend of you is like wow. I blocked all contact with Tectone around September of 2025, around Charlie Kirk's death. I also deleted the official Hexjuice Twitter. At that time, I had been watching his pivot into radical alt-right politics from the sideline ever since early 2025. And the shift he made after Charlie Kirk's death became a breaking point for me. So this is like political side of it. Like I understand that this can be a touchy topic. I met Tectone at a pivotal moment in my life. I was an incredibly small, very unsuccessful content creator on the verge of quitting, and that's what Tectone and other content creators like Saint Tontus is even doing too. It reminds me something like All Might, no, not All Might, All for One, when he literally just tried to bring up a smaller content creator, give them a platform, and then after that you hold him, so uh you have to do things for him. That's what Tectone reminds me of. Like, while I did not always agree with the things Tectone said or did, even before meeting him, I felt that I understand his point of view and admire how entertaining his streams were. That's a bit of a stretch, but okay. When he reached out to me on In February 2024, I had just barely gotten 1K subscribers on YouTube after 2 years of hard work. His acknowledgement meant the absolute world to me. Okay. As I understand that, it's great that the ball man acknowledged you as a content creator. After meeting Tectone, it felt like I had a true friend who would always have my back. He helped me throughout a conflict with a much larger creator defending me against another small YouTuber that sexually harassed me and tried to assassinate my career over 6 months, and generally was kind and welcoming to me at first. Like, I think she's talking about Mtash. I don't know about the sexually harassing her. I really don't know about that. Well, for the past 6 months, I don't know. I really don't know about that. It's not my position to talk about, you know? So I'm not getting into that. Like, that's a whole other kettle of in itself. I don't think in my events, I don't think Mtash sexually assaulted her. To be fair, to be 100% clear, this was before his shift into alt-right politics. These events all occur while he was a gacha content creator. While he sometimes made some off comments, I believe him to be closer to center left when I first met him due to a statement he made to me personally. I was aware of the flaws that were publicly known about Tectone at the time, around February to August of 2024, but they were not the same as now in 2016. To my knowledge, people primarily dislike him at the time for being disagreeable and overly confrontational within the gacha community. If he had been spewing the vile, dangerous rhetoric he does now, I doubt we would have ever even met. So yeah, Tectone loved to bring his weight around in the gacha community, and this is what he had. This is what he had over everybody else. Like, when Tectone was only in the gacha community, like, he was the big dog. So it was his audience against all our small audiences. So he would always win majority of the time because he will always send his army against us to attack us. The thing that screwed Tectone over is that Tectone, and I always use this analogy, think of Tectone in the gacha community as a big fish in a pond, right? He's the big fish while we are the small fishes in that pond. Then Tectone got a little bit too bloated in ego and decided, okay, I'm gonna go out into the sea of content creators, the big content creators. So what happened is that he's no longer boxing with content creators like me or any other content creator who's lower than him. He's now boxing with content creators that are at his level and larger than him. That's why I say that he went into the sea of content creators. And with them who have been dealing with drama for far longer than him, way better than him, he's gonna get cooked. I used to be a part of that community where I used to watch guys like Leafy's Year and others that are permanent drama, Gideon and stuff like that. Way back when, before I even came up on Tectone. So content creators like that are gonna be way better at handling drama than Tectone. And obviously, Tectone took a lot of L in that situation. We originally met because I agreed with him regarding an interpersonal situation with another content creator. Gotcha, content creator. Okay, so maybe the original one up there is not talking about Mtash. Hopefully not. Because I didn't remember Mtash being... I can't remember Mtash going after her probably, but not sexually harassing her. I did agree with many of his takes, which were very pro-consumer and anti-corporation in the gacha community, which they did. But it was primarily against Genshin Impact. I don't know, WestJet, why he decided to say that Tectone is a Genshin player. He's not a Genshin player. He's currently a Waterways player. Waterways own him. We don't own or accept Tectone. It's not us. Get that straight. But I often disagree with a certain aspect of his views or how he went about presenting them. Over time, however, a pattern emerged around this that became very toxic. While I'm not familiar at all with Tectone's present fan base, if you knew of Tectone and Gacha at the time, you know it, that his community was absolutely vicious. There was a culture of harassment and bullying in his community that was outright encouraged and asked for by Tectone on numerous occasions. He would directly tell his audience on stream to seek out and attack those who would disagree with him. Like this is currently still happening to this day. I have met like I have a constant stream of Tectone's fans and Saint Tonta's fans in my videos constantly. I have heard them mention me outside my YouTube channel, inside Saint Tonta's channel. They mention me. They click my videos, they send it to him, they send it to Saint Tontas. I already know that. I already have ops in Saint Tontas squares and in Tectone squares. I already know about that. And then they have the audacity to come to me and say how that Tectone don't care about me or Saint Tontas don't care about me when I already have the receipts that have what they've been doing. But I don't push it. Like I don't care. Like I began to understand that, yeah, so yeah, Tectone does that. And Tectone, I'm not the only person. Hexjuice is not the only person. Tectone has done that to a countless amount of content creators. And that's why there's so much people that have a vendetta against Tectone, because Tectone does that to everybody. Everybody that disagree with him. As long as you're not ass kissing Tectone, you're not his friend. Okay, so I began to understand that I could either silence my direct disagreement or suffer the harassment of the community. Tectone was so much larger than any gacha creator that his fan base was probably bigger than that of gacha itself. Than gacha itself, I don't think so, but it was definitely the biggest one. Given that I was a grown content creator with relative successful of a niche stream and YouTube videos. And one of his close friends, I felt the effect of the as one of his close friends. Okay, and one of his close friends, I felt the effects of the community he fostered very strongly. Okay, you're that's Trump talk. Trump likes saying that very strongly. As time went on, I struggle more with as time went on, I struggled more and more to feel free to express my actual opinions. I think I've talked about this with Maggie when it comes down to Saint Tontas and why she quit Wooden Race content creation, because she felt like she was being constantly watched by Saint Tontas army, which she was right on, especially if they were not wholly in the line with Tectones. I often would avoid addressing parts of a situation that I had a problem with him or try to deflect with a joke when it comes when I could. Not only was the community very vocal in chat or comment sections, but some of his mods and editors would constantly clip my streams and send them to him when I made a joke at his expense. As I stated, that's exactly what he did. And how the funny thing about it is that the thing with Secton's fans is that they will always complain that you guys are jobless. I'm jobless. I have a job and do content creation. Any other content creator is jobless, while they're the ones sitting at home all day having the time to clip people and watch people constantly. They that have no job. I can't believe it, bro. Or I disagree with him. He would watch the clips and comment on them negatively, spurring his audience to heckle me on my own live stream. It felt like I was constantly monitored, which is true, and that's like a toxic relationship to be having. Even though it's not like her being with him, but like as a friendship, that's just not a good, healthy space to be in. I spent a decent amount of time hanging out with him and other gacha content creators in my community he created on Discord. He would occasionally make sexual comments that made me uncomfortable, like asking if I had been masturbating because I had joined a Discord call out of breath. Ladies and gentlemen, what do we learn in class here? What did we learn in class here? When there's multiple people coming up with the same allegations against one person, maybe that it is true. That is not good to be saying to persons, especially all the bat. You have to first learn if the person. All right, if you're making sexual jokes with a person, you have to be first. You have to first know if she's like comfortable with those first before you say, okay, can I? Is it okay for me to make some sexual jokes with you or something like that? Because it can feel very uncomfortable for some people, and this is it happening right here now. So far, I don't remember how much Tectone Dad went. Tectone Dad has the world record. Tectone Dad was so bad at sexually assaulting people in the army that they had to create a law for him, specifically for him. And that's some insane shit. Now, Tectone is off to a good start. He talk bad, well, sexually about Emeru. We already know that. He has assaulted his ex-wife, now his ex-girlfriend, and he said some dangerous stuff about Hexjuice. So we're off to a good start. Around 4 so far. He need a lot more to catch up. I do think there's probably a lot more there. Okay. I did remember too because he always loved talking about Hexjuice VTuber models' boobs. Because I watched Tectone at the time. But more often, he would belittle me and call in calls with our friends. He would also regularly make point to talk about how annoying I was or criticize some small missteps I made, like having mic issues in voice chat at length. Yeah, yeah. But he was helping you, don't remember. Publicly, he did much of the same, but his audience continued this pattern of constantly reminding me of various missteps and things Tectone didn't like about me. And that's something that Tectone audience love to do as well. They love to mimic what Tectone said and then use it against you. But normally these followers are brain dead, so if you press them on it, they don't have anything else to say other than the catchphrase that they heard from Tectone because they only have the one brain cells. Eventually, things came to end, I'm guessing, in July of 2024, and we had a very nasty argument on stream. We were having a disagreement over Zenithzone Zero. His audience was clipping things I was saying, and he was getting increasingly agitated. He typed in my stream chat several times, causing his audience to continuously swarm me. He eventually asked to have a conversation about our disagreement, and I felt incredibly pressured to speak. I thought, however, that since we were friends, we could have an applicable discussion. And that's not what happened. I don't want to go into play-by-play on the argument, so you can watch it yourself if you really want to. The link to it here. It started at 4:30. Now, to give some context before I go into this video, because I will be going into these details as well. So it was around the launch of the Zenithzone Zero, the game that Tectone is not affiliated with. I don't know why you guys think that Tectone is affiliated with Hoyo Games. He's affiliated with Cool Games. We don't own him. As I'm talking about this as a Oyo agent, we do not own him. He's a Winter Race player. The game launch, right? And everybody was rightfully upset about the TV system, including me. And we were giving our first impressions and first thought about it. And Tectone was the one by saying that maybe we should give the game time and see if the TV system works out. And that nobody's opinions matter except him. And Tectone is like dumb with it because like with my other channel before that, what I used to do was like game reviews, and I normally get reached out by developers and stuff like that to give my first impression on the game. I would play the game for X amount of hours, and then I would give my first impression on the game. Tectone was basically saying that we have to finish the game in its entirety before we can make a review, and there's no such thing on that. You can have first impressions. Like that's when Tectone also followed with Skull CJ. He has bounced back far, but like in that one when he was falling out with Skull CJ, his audience turned on him because like he was being incredibly unfair to him. And look where he is now. And give me 1 second. Got a little thirsty there, sorry. So let's get into that video first, right? It was 42 minutes. This was the initial video that MTAR saw, that I saw, that it's really sick to watch. Like I tell you, like I had to like make this video private because like of how pissed I was with this, bro. I have to make this video private because like it just, and look at the thumbnail I used to because that's how it felt. Like we're gonna witness it live.
Link voice chat. Okay. How about now?
Yo. Yo.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Sorry if you hear my
That's
cat
better.
in the background.
Now I'm doubled, but it's cool. You can hear?
Hi, chat.
Yeah.
Hey, if you wanna,
there we go.
If you want to fix yours, you can. I'm in no rush.
Let me see something.
Yeah.
I really hope that the cat is not on the street. Wait.
I don't know. It's just Wavelength being dog shit. I need to switch out of Wavelength.
Yeah, turn me down a little bit. Buy the Rodecaster Pro. It's really good.
Hold tight.
It's like $600.
There we go. Is that good? Levels sounding reasonable?
So that's you already talking about Mac issues. So we already covered that.
Talk?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That sounds good. All right.
So everybody's really mad.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about mad. I think people are just so
I would use the word
confused.
mad. I would use the word mad.
Okay. I mean, I'm mad at you, but that's because
That's why I would use the word mad.
Yeah. I'm mad at you because you're invalidating my opinions, and it's very frustrating.
How?
Because disagreement on like perspectives and opinions, I can't like prove you wrong because it's your perspective, just like you can't prove me wrong.
Okay, so how did I say you can't have an opinion?
We're seeing the live straw man actions interplay from the legendary Tectone himself.
By saying that, and you've constantly said anybody who disagrees with you is either on a hate train or is dumb.
Yep.
So no one's allowed to have any opinion.
No, you're allowed. Right? You're allowed. I didn't say you couldn't have an opinion.
Yeah, but no one's allowed to, like, you understand that when you're like quadruple the size of every other streamer in Gacha, and you're also so incredibly obnoxious.
True.
It means that absolutely everyone is invalidated when you say that opinion.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just me though. It's just one person's word.
Yeah, but it's, you know that it's not.
Oh, sure. But the thing is, I think people who judge a game off of 2 hours are dumb.
I didn't play 2 hours. I've played about 9 hours now.
But when people were making their original, I hate this game so much, it makes me so mad. Not only have they, once again, I don't think you have to play the whole game to know that it's bad, but to at least have information on what the game becomes. But as of current time of recording, not a single person on Earth has gotten to endgame. So we don't even know what the game is, whether it changes, the issues that we have if they get better later, and I just really don't think there's enough information to give any flat-out definitive weight that is supposed to be held in the entirety of the game rather than a temporary stance.
And Tectone was wrong in that situation. At the time, Xenozone Zero was so easy that Mr. Pokey cleared endgame using a blindfold. That's how easy it was at the time. And the story, everybody didn't like the TV system. Majority of people, some people like it. Some people do like it. I didn't like it because I didn't like the fact that they're telling the story within the TV system. If they use it for exploration, that's fine, but they shouldn't use it to tell the story. Like we should be like say saving in the train. that entire thing happened on the TV system when we should have had cutscenes on that.
And people are eating that shit up, saying, oh, the game is
So-
bad because the first 2 hours. Well, we don't know what it becomes later. I mean, I'll be real. People were judging the combat off of fighting the tutorial mobs. When in Wuthering Waves, if somebody were to do that, they'd just be they'd be called an idiot. Like, the game will change later, but we should see everything 1.0 has to offer before we completely dismiss this fucking game.
So I have a question for you. What's an anime that you don't like?
What is an anime that I don't like?
Yeah, like you just like you just
Haikyuu. I think Haikyuu is one of the better rated sports anime of all time, and I hate it.
Okay. How much of Haikyuu did you watch?
I watched the whole thing
Okay.
because I was
I
waiting.
know that you have said previously that you shouldn't be expected to watch an entirety or watch a billion years of an anime or anything to decide if it's good or bad or if you want to watch it.
Yeah,
I
well,
know
that's-
that you've said this before.
Right, but I can look
So,
up,
like-
but I can look up a synopsis to see if the
That was a good argument from Hexjuice.
things that I want change or not. Right now, we can't look up a synopsis for whether the game changed or not because it's not available yet.
Are gacha games not really supposed to be front loaded with like all of the enjoyable shit because the point is to get you into the gacha?
They're not front loaded with enjoyment. They're front loaded with rewards and currency.
That's what enjoyment is.
Tectone. It takes like 2 hours, 3-4 hours to complete the story of the game, and then the other things is just grind. No, that it is front loaded.
It's really because that's really like a lot of the enjoyment of gacha.
It depends on the person.
Uh-huh.
Like if you were to say the enjoyment is of pulling, well then why would people play free to play? Right? Because like some people are just like,
That's not what she said. That the enjoyment is front loaded, which is the story is front loaded. Once you finish, take for example, Wuthering Waves. It's a dead game, but it is important to this. Like the story, after you finish the story and end game, I mean that's it. The rest is just grind, right? So it's front loaded. It's not like the game is like stretched out throughout the entire patch. Like most of the things are front loaded, and then you have the dead period, and then you have the time that you're playing again.
okay, well I'll earn them, and then for that I'll just play the game.
I feel like I don't understand what you want from anybody. How long do I have to play this game in order to be valid in like saying that that you don't like the game
I
very
don't think
much?
you have to play it X amount. I think you just have to view what is available at the end of 1.0. And then once 1.0 has been done, it's been beaten by not you, by someone else, and then you can say,
By me, and not you, me.
oh, okay, so this becomes that, this becomes that, these systems becomes that, so then go for it. Sure.
If I can remember correctly, it did state that it's him.
That's why I'm saying that like we should at least have a, because do you know any content creator that's like at endgame right now?
Yeah, the Chinese players had made it to endgame in the first day. The first day.
No,
Right.
I don't.
So that's what I'm saying. Like we haven't seen everything in the game yet. So let's just wait a second.
I've never played a game where like there was no like real honeymoon period in gacha ever. I've also never played a gacha game that I didn't understand the appeal of the gacha, even if it wasn't like my favorite game, right? Like where I didn't understand the appeal of that game within like 30 minutes.
So real quick, I just want to address this, right? Just so chat can see it, because I'm going to speak very slowly so you guys can understand. I'm not saying
That's very condescending to say.
people can't have an opinion because they haven't played long enough. I'm saying the entirety of the version of the game isn't out yet. And
I agree.
I've also heard it gets much better the further you go in, right? So let's just wait until somebody gets there. And then we don't have to guess whether it's bad or not. We can say whether it's bad or not. Because the way that these gacha games work is that if you give people wiggle room whatsoever, it's going to cause pandemonium. So just wait till we see everything and then say, oh, it's bad because this happens, and it never changes.
I don't understand this like logic of like we have to see absolutely everything about a game to decide if it's actually not very good.
Okay.
Because do you think somebody has to finish Elden Ring to decide if it's good?
No.
I would take someone's opinion more seriously if they played the whole game.
Sure,
And I think
but
that
do
goes
you
with everything.
think that they can just like, because the thing that I'm trying to get in, I'm trying to like discuss, right?
There's a thing called first impression.
Is that you're saying that anybody who disagrees is either factually wrong or like basically just stupid if they don't really particularly like the game.
Just to make sure, I'm trying to understand the context of which I said that. I think I said that for the UI.
You've said that more or less in multiple ways.
Can you provide a
throughout like directly that specific thing. You said in terms of the UI. But even
the UI
in your review,
for sure I said if you don't like the UI, it's because you're being impatient, and you're wrong. And I think if people wait a little bit, they'll actually enjoy the UI for how it's presented. I actually think it's quite stylized and nice.
okay,
I
that's
think Tectone was the one that said that he doesn't like the UI after the entire thing.
a fair opinion to have. But you've also said just in general that most of the content creators that dislike this game are just whining and crying.
They are, absolutely.
And that they're hate rating or they're bandwagoning or whatever.
For sure. I mean, I think you would agree that people who make negative videos right now are getting far more views. I can prove that with my own analytics.
I mean, you get more views for making negative videos all the time.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, right now, being hateful of this game is very incentivized.
Well, because at a time, many people really hated the TV system.
And I think people were doing it way too early. And when people were saying the combat is bad, okay, well, we're judging combat
The combat was way too easy.
based off of UL 10.
Like, there was a whole meme going around at the time that Xenozone Zero's combat is pretty much non-existent. Well, whatever is the best combat. And that's why I always mention that, look at the flip, because at the start, the launch of these games, whatever was known as a combat-focused, like, hard game, while Xenozone Zero was a brain dead easy game. And now Xenozone Zero is the highly complex combat system, and Wuthering Waves is the easy game.
Where
It switched
even with
completely.
Wuwa, the combat really didn't pick up till like UL 40. Same thing with the holograms. Like, if you were judging a holograms based off of level 30, 40, 50, well, the big mechanics don't come in until like level 5 and 6.
Yeah, but the reality is like the combat was still more engaging and in depth than Wuthering
Absolutely.
Waves early on. It was easier.
And nobody is arguing. Everyone agrees that Wuthering Waves combat is better. At least as far as I'm concerned. I
Really hear from him.
agree that Wuthering Waves combat it's infinitely better, for sure.
Because there's a really big difference to me between there being like, you know, ascending difficulty in combat, which is in literally any game ever. Even in Elden Ring, there's a certain level of that, right? And there's a difference between that and like this is like lobotomy combat. There's not only a low skills, like the skill floor is in hell. And I think it's fair for people to not be particularly enticed by that when you have to get to level 30, 40 and get into endgame to even experience anything interesting from the combat. And then what's going to happen is they're going to get into that more difficult combat and they're not going to know how to play the game at all. They're not going to know how to team build because they've literally been spamming X until level 30, 40.
I think that's subjective. And I
What
also
part?
think, well, everything you just said. I think you said people aren't going to enjoy the combat, but people are
I
enjoying
think
the
it's
combat.
fair if they don't, is what I said.
Sure. Yeah, either way, for sure. What I'm saying is when people say the combat is bad, right? The thing with Xenozone Zero is that, well, one, we've also heard from the devs, which we can be proven wrong by later. They could be lying, and I think they have been lying so far. But with games like this, where it has a more simplistic combat style to play, that doesn't inherently make it bad. The same thing with Dark Souls. Like when you play a character, it doesn't have to be complex to play the character, as long as the mobs provide something sufficient to actually want to dodge to get dopamine from. Right? Like a lot of the enjoyment of this game can come from complexity of mobs, and we'll see how that goes in the future. So far, I've heard from other creators like Mr. Pokey who've gotten further into the game that there actually is some challenging combat later in the game. Where he's at right now, at level 25.
But like, can we be fair that like most people are going to judge what the combat is off of the first 10 hours of the game?
Sure, but can we also be
Which
fair
is-
by saying people who have seen all of the combat have a better opinion?
I think
Yes, but it doesn't invalidate first impression. And I think that's what Hexjuice is trying to argue. on the situation to begin with, but Tectone is like trying to invalidate her by saying that the longer you play, the more valuable your review is gonna be. But still, a first impression is still valuable.
That they can have a more they can, but like
Yeah.
saying that people are like on a hate train because they're not immediately brought in by combat that is like mid, it's like it's just an odd way to present other people's opinions, and it's just a weird way to do it. I think people are more than fair in saying like this was advertised as a combat game. That was a lie. I don't really trust Hoyoverse after Genshin Impact.
It's a different
And so
team.
like I don't have a lot of patience. I don't want to have patience. That's incredibly reasonable.
It is a different dev team. So I do think holding Genshin's mistakes on Zenless Zone Zero is a little bit skewed because Honkai Star Rail, which is pretty much like universally praised, is from a different dev team from Genshin, which is the same team.
I understand that, but it's still a Hoyoverse to a lot of people.
Sure, and I think
And so especially when like since CBT 1, objectively basically everybody's hated the fucking TVs. You know, everybody dislikes the TVs. And then they very, very, very specifically in the live stream, the release live stream, were like, they didn't basically show the TVs almost at all. Like
that's like false advertisement because you're like, because you don't see the TVs, you're saying, okay, the TVs are not gonna be in there, and the TVs was heavily in there.
I think they actually showed the TVs. I don't know if they even really addressed the TVs.
Can I tell you something that's driving me nuts?
Huh.
The TVs are actually pretty good in some regards in the game.
I understand that you said that, but what I'm saying is, if I can finish my point, is that when they very specifically
TVs are alright. The problem is using the TVs to tell a story. That's not good.
People don't like the fucking TVs.
Some people.
Okay. Since CBT 1, people have complained about the TVs, is the point that I'm attempting to make.
Sure.
Since the beginning of development of this game, people fucking hated the TVs. A lot of people.
Sure.
And
No one's
then
denying that.
and then they have reduced it. And then for the release live stream, there was like not a lot really said about the TVs. I don't remember it being mentioned, if it was at all. And then to come into the game where the TV gameplay is still so much of the game and it's frustrating and it doesn't feel very good, right?
Yep.
It's a very reasonable reaction after Genshin Impact and after.
Okay, so let me give you a breakdown of what it was to play Zenless Zone Zero at the time. Like, the TV system, when you play a story, it would be like 90% TV. The fights will finish in like a minute or two, and then we're back in the TV again. So it felt like we were spending majority of our times in the TVs, or then we're gonna be watching like skits from the story, and 10% to combat or something like that. So it did. And because this was like combat focus, it didn't feel as engaging, and it was very difficult to play through.
After issues with Hoyoverse as a whole.
And the fact that they were using the TV to tell key parts of the story that should have been like cutscenes, that was bad. Like the way the storytelling is right now is way better.
To be like, bro, like I don't like they don't listen to player feedback.
You said Hoyoverse as a whole. Okay, what issues are you having with Honkai Star Rail?
This is what he does. Like he completely ignore our initial point and then like pick something short of it out of it. Like say that, okay, so you say Hoyoverse as a whole. So I try to change the topic completely to what it wasn't.
That's not.
So it feels like we're circling around. She even mentioned it here, right?
The point that we're talking about. I'm talking about that people have a right to the. You want to talk about all this stuff. I'm saying that people have a right to feel frustrated when. But you're ignoring the point that I'm trying to make, and you're speaking over me.
Well, no, that's because.
Yes, you are.
I'm saying you said Hoyoverse as a whole. That's just simply not true.
You see, is like coming off the topic completely. We're here talking about the TV system, and he wants to talk about Hoyoverse as a whole. What's that term again from Mr. Pokey class? I don't remember. I need to go and brush back up on my goalpost shifting. Yes.
For you,
Is it goalpost shifting? It's like picking something out of the argument that was said and then completely arguing about something else.
Saying for people, for
I don't think it's
normal
goalpost shifting. I think it's something else.
people who have like a, because not everybody's played Honkai Star Rail either.
No
For
one's saying
normal people, no one is saying that.
that. Exactly.
For normal people who are trying to get into a game, right? But they already, like, if Genshin is their like main thing that they hold Hoyo against Hoyo, which is a lot of people, and that's fair to say. When they get into a game where they have essentially ignored player feedback,
Okay, so I was right, brother. You're moving the goalpost. I was right.
once again, since CBT1, this has been an issue. There's been 3 beta tests, and then they've released it, and it still sucks. And they left it out of the live stream because I think a lot of people would have been annoyed about it immediately. I think it's a very reasonable thing to say, like, okay, well, they don't care about player feedback. I don't want to play the game if they don't care about player feedback.
And it's because of the outrage that you know, not everybody did as a community is why Zenithal Zero changed. If it wasn't for that, it would have been the same. This is the textbook definition of toxic positivity. If we were to avoid the TV issues, it would have continued to persist throughout this time. It's because we were so bad and dogging it why it was changed.
I think that's incorrect take due to the fact of HSR. Now you can say Genshin, but they're different teams.
But then again, oh my god,
Honkai Star Rail has listened to player feedback.
that is why you need player feedback to be in the game.
People can choose to incorporate HSR into their mindset, but what I'm saying is I think it's fair to be like, they didn't listen after 3 beta tests. That sucks. And they left it out of the live stream, specifically, I think, to be a little bit shady about it.
I think they said they reduced TVs by 50%, and they did do that.
And I did say about it, like, if they reduced TV system by 50%, what was the original amount? Because it was hell to go through.
But people don't like a lot of people don't like the TVs at all.
Sure, and some people do like the TVs.
Much less. How many people actually like the TVs? Like
5%.
like them? Tolerate. I hear tolerate.
Sure.
Like, enjoy, very little. Not
Okay.
everybody
So-
hates it, but
Sure.
very few people actually enjoy and want more TVs.
Sure.
And if this is 50%, I'm going to be honest. I can't believe they ever kept it in the game at all.
Okay. Like if you think that I'm going to argue that everybody likes the TVs, that's not what I'm arguing. What I'm saying is that when you say that Hoyoverse as a whole has been proven to be untrustworthy, that's the only point that I'm arguing. And if you're saying that Hoyoverse has been proven to not listen to player feedback in its entirety, I think that is simply untrue.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that that's a
actually
common
was
perception
exactly
among
what
a
you said.
lot. No,
and I
it's
think just
not.
because people have a perception doesn't make it right.
Oh my god,
I'm
bro.
not saying that it's right. I'm saying that people don't owe it to Hoyoverse to be patient and hope that things get better.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they've been burned by the company before, so absolutely I can understand. You are taking things that they made with a grain of salt. Like,
Like,
they don't.
I
Absolutely.
didn't
Wait,
say that.
of
I
course, and
literally
neither-
just saying
and
that
neither-
it's a fair perception, and that doesn't like, okay, Honkai Star Rail is better. Not everybody cares.
Of
But
course.
you're saying that anybody that doesn't want to like just give a corporation ample time and all of like dozens of hours of their time
Uh-huh.
when they already have other games to play. There's so many things to do right now in gaming. It's fair to be like, yeah, I don't really
Okay.
want to give this any space. I don't like
All
it.
right.
It's not fun. How
So
much
if
time do I
there's-
have to play to be
If
fun?
there's so much other things to do in gaming, then why are you in the Zenless Zone Zero category playing Zenless Zone Zero, a game you don't like, when you could play Wuthering Waves right now?
Yeah, that's what all the people hating in my chat say, especially when they really like Genshin Impact.
But I'm just saying, if you say there's so much other shit to do, then why aren't you
There's
doing
so
the
much other shit to do. Why do you play Genshin Impact when it updates?
Oh, because it's cool.
Because you want to have a valid opinion about the game when you talk about it.
Okay, so you said there's so much other shit to do when you play it, right? When Genshin comes out, there's nothing to do but that. In a field parade,
is that a marker for a whiteboard? I wonder who is that whiteboard for?
Aided by side games, there's
That
not
wasn't
that
no,
much
that
to
wasn't
do.
even true. Last time you played the Genshin Impact story,
Uh-huh.
it was right around the release of Wuthering Waves. You played it, and then you went back to play Wuthering Waves. You didn't have to play the story.
Right. So I played it, said that it sucked, and then I went back to the other game.
Yes, but
In
you
the
will
span
play
of
it
3
again
hours?
next time. Why? Okay, so when the next story comes out, why are you going to play it again since you don't like the game?
I'm gonna play
You're like
it.
the most.
Oh my gosh, she's tearing him apart there. Make cooked by a VTuber. But it's true. If you don't like the game, why are you still playing it? So she's using Tectone's words against him.
Most famous hater of Genshin
I'm
Impact
gonna
ever. Why
play
do you ever log
say
into it
that
ever
it's
again?
shit. I'm gonna play it, say that it's shit, and then I'm gonna go back. But I'm not gonna just
Right.
sit in the category.
Then leave, man. That's what you're saying to her to do. Then why don't you leave?
Because if there was something else, and also if there was something else to do, I wouldn't go play it. But I only go play it when there's nothing else to do. Case in point, 4.2, the 4.5, I did.
So wait. You say that there's one point Tectone said that there's so much to do in gaming right now, and then the other point Tectone is saying that there's nothing to do, so he had to play Genshin Impact. So two answers can't be the same at once, right at the same time. So which one is it? Is there too much games to play out there, or too little games to play out there, Tectone?
Didn't even touch because there was other things to do.
You play it when there's the most recent thing, like the most relevant thing to play, which was, I think the last time was the next major story update, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't like it, and you don't like the game. You are
So I
the most
stopped playing
famous Genshin Impact hater.
So I stopped
Why
playing.
go back and play it again? Because you want to have a valid opinion. And it's extremely obvious why I'm trying to play this game again.
Right.
Because I'm already having people come in here and invalidate me because I'm like,
Mind you, I think Tectone did C6 Nouvellette. And he's the guy that tried to have the moral high ground to say that if you C6 a character in Genshin Impact, that you're a scum.
stupid because I don't agree with you.
I think
So
that
I'm
if
playing.
you-
I'm going to play more of the game so that I can have a valid opinion because
So tell me I'm wrong, Tectone. Tell me I'm wrong.
you're invalidating people.
Sure.
That's the same reason you play Genshin Impact. But you asking me that is like in such weird, like it's such a weird thing to do.
I think you're wrong in almost everything you've said this entire time. And
I think that you're wrong in almost
cherry-picking,
everything you've said in
and
the
I
entire
think you're
time.
straw manning very hard.
You've
Says the one that's drama.
strawmanned like almost every single thing that I have said.
Okay,
That is
so
insane.
I'm using words that you've said, and then you're using words that I have
You're
not
using
said.
words in a completely different form and fashion to paint
How?
a different version of what I said.
No, you have said multiple things, and I've used your words, and then you're not using my words. You're using my type of activities that I participate in completely different contexts. Because what you're saying is that you are doing this, even though there's so much other shit that you could be doing, yet you're not doing that. Yet when I play the
saying
updates,
that
there's nothing else.
about regular
Do you
consumers.
know
I'm
why
talking
you're
about
cutting me
people.
off right here? Do you know why you're cutting me off right here? Because you know the point I'm about to make.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna say it again. What you just said is I am still using what you said.
You cut that part. You cut that part. What the you? And that part, he says something very demeaning to her, and he cut it. You son of a bitch!
Versus
No.
you're using things that
And
is what you said.
That's not how that works.
But that is
dude.
what you
You're-
said.
No, you're misrepresenting. You twist my words,
Okay, so I'll
and
write
then
it
you
out.
say, "Well, I'm saying what you said."
Okay, so then let me write it out. Okay, maybe we're having a communication issue.
If I remember correctly, when he cut that part, he said like, "Let me slow it down for you so you can understand." I remember it correctly. You can see the cut.
I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you're doing this accidentally. Okay, so I'm gonna write it down on my screen, and every word you say, I'm gonna write out.
Is that a notepad, bro? The notepad.
That was so fucking condescending.
How?
Because
I-
maybe you're not doing it on purpose.
Yeah, me giving you the benefit of the doubt?
No, because what you're saying, the full sentence of that is maybe you're being like kind of dumb, not on purpose.
No, I'm saying maybe we have a. Okay, I think you're getting a little bit too emotional. I feel like we're having a communication issue
I
here.
love that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awkward silence, man. This is exactly what I was talking about. This is what pissed me off so much, man. That I got so pissed off on that video that I made. I locked it. I locked it. Why? Because like I got so pissed. I got so pissed on that video, man. It's insane. Like, and my audio is probably really bad at the
Tash, what's
time.
going on in the stream?
What is it? Man, my audio was so bad by then.
Hello?
It only
I
gets
think
worse
bro
from here.
died. Fuck me. I can't hear. Hello?
Hey.
There we go. Hello. Sorry. I can't. Are you speaking or is it? Are you?
I'm
just,
currently
like, is it just-
flabbergasted because you're taking offense to what I'm saying.
I do take offense.
I think you're taking a
specifically to
severe
this,
amount
like,
of offense.
I'm saying that I am.
hmm
So you don't need to like.
Okay, so I'm gonna say again, you're getting way too emotional over this.
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
I'm getting frustrated because you're misusing my words and you're straw manning me, and it doesn't feel very respectful. So yeah, I am. I'm feeling frustrated.
Great. So I'm gonna write down what it is that we're saying, so that way we can just have this out. Because when I hear what you're saying, and then I talk about what you're saying, then you're saying I'm misrepresenting you. So let's just write it out that way you don't feel misrepresented.
The legendary whiteboard, man. The legendary notepad. Like, when you have multiple women saying that you do this, when you have multiple people saying that you do this, yeah, Tectone, it doesn't really look good on you, man.
Okay.
Great. So you don't think, because I pour this as a counterpoint. So what you're saying is you don't think that Hoyoverse is fucked up as a whole.
I think it is a fair thing for people to feel that way.
Okay, so you think it is fair for people, not you, for people to think that Hoyoverse has fucked up as a whole of a company.
Yeah, I believe that is true. Like, I understand people like rightfully hate Weavers as a company, and they still do. They still fucking do. So they have trust issues when it comes down to Honkai Star Rail and Zenithzone Zero, and that is fair. So they come into games with a little bit of skepticism when it comes to it, because they have been burned by the company before, and that's totally valid for people to have.
Yes.
Okay? I think that these people, not you, because you don't agree with this, I think that these people are wrong.
Am I the only one here? Tell me, guys, Kurobots, because you guys watch my videos. Like, tell me, am I wrong here to say that like you having trust issues? Like, say for example, if you have a girlfriend, imagine it, like, and then you find that girlfriend cheats on you, like, and you give her a second chance. Are you gonna be as trustworthy with her the second time around, or are you gonna be more skeptic of what she does? Obviously, the answer is you're gonna be more skeptic of what she does. Like, that's a very simple answer. This is why people have trust issues when it comes to Hoyo, because they have been rubbed wrong by the company before.
Okay.
Due to the fact, right? Now, if they were to say that Genshin fucked up, absolutely. Honkai Star Rail, which is a different dev team, has done a great job appeasing its players. So
Until Global Passive.
what I want us to do here is let's not talk about what other people think. Let's talk about what you think and what I think. Because arguing on the behalf of other people's, I think, is just silly.
I think that I was trying to have a point about the way that you are presenting people having different opinions from you.
All right, so you don't like the way that I'm representing people's opinions that are different than mine. Okay?
Mm-hmm. And what I'm trying to say is that you are consistently saying, essentially, you don't say this directly, but multiple times. Essentially, the word is, everybody can have the opinion that I have when I have it.
Can you show me saying that?
Can I find the clip of your most recent the review video? Maybe. But essentially what it is that if, like, the thing is the only point I'm trying to have is that people are allowed to have separate opinions, and that doesn't make them stupid.
Okay. People are not, okay, so people are allowed to have other opinions, and that doesn't make them dumb. Okay, so what you're saying is I have the opinion that if anybody has an opinion that's not mine, they're stupid.
Usually, yes. Yeah. Not always. Usually, yes. In this specific situation, most of the time.
Okay. Now, when you hear me saying that, when I say that anybody who disagrees with me is just dumb, you're taking that seriously.
I'm saying that I understand that you might be playing a character, right?
Yep.
But like people take what you say incredibly seriously.
So they also take
his audience.
What you say incredibly seriously. They take what everybody says incredibly seriously.
Yes, but your word matters more. You have bigger numbers. You're more right.
I think,
and you know that's how that works.
No, I would disagree. I think everybody's opinion matters just as much as mine.
Really?
In a sort of larger reality sort of way, in the grand scheme of things, absolutely, I agree.
Okay.
I agree that you believe that. The reality of the internet and the reality of public perception is not that.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've mentioned this many times. I need to stop interrupting, but I mentioned this many times that in the absence of information, they'll likely believe the person that is a much larger content creator.
So what do you want me to do?
I'd like you to say that your opinion is your opinion.
It is. Absolutely, it's my opinion.
So say it like it's opinion instead of invalidating any opinion that is not the same as yours.
I think people who give opinions on a product they haven't fully seen as reviewers, which is their job to be reviewers, are doing a disservice to the community when they're not going in like half-cooked. And I feel like if it's your job and you make money and you profit from these games that you are covering, you have a responsibility to your community to give the most complete opinion possible. And stating opinions as universal in perpetuity for a game that you yourself haven't experienced yet is irresponsible.
So I have a question for you. Why do you get to say that the game is good despite not having finished the game?
Good one.
Because every single time I've stated the game and my opinion on the game, I have said this is my opinion within 24 hours, and I will update it with a different opinion at a later date.
Which is called first impression, which is what people were having to begin with. Tectone, you retarded motherfucker.
Well, then what if you're doing a disservice to the community because the game ends up being dog shit at the end of the day?
Well, then I just change it.
That's what the guy Tectone doesn't hear himself talk, man.
I'll say, okay, this was my opinion 24 hours.
But wouldn't it be? But wouldn't it be more valid? Wouldn't it be more respectful, more of a service to the community to wait until you finish the entirety of the game?
Are you noticing?
And then give.
You see what Hexjuice is doing? Hexjuice is using Tectone's words against him, and that must piss off Tectone so much.
Your opinion.
Are you noticing how you're saying "what if"?
And.
So rather than argue what ifs, why don't we argue with things that have happened?
What has happened is that you're allowed to have a positive opinion of the game.
I don't think it's positive. I think it's a fair take. I think it's more fair. I wouldn't say it's positive.
I think it's objectively very, very positive.
You would say a 6.5 out of 10 is very positive?
I think that number is
6.5 is positive. Like between I'm not getting into the maths, man.
Mid, but what you actually say about the game is highly positive, and then you act like if people disagree with you and don't like those things, that they're dumb.
Yep.
So
what you're
but
saying
why
is
is it okay for you? Why is it okay for you to drop your full opinion, your thoughts without playing until the end game? But I can't have my opinion and my thoughts before getting to the end game.
Yeah, that's
because I think the way that people are presenting their opinions right now are far too confident in how the game will exist at endgame when they haven't got there yet.
really.
Because when you say the combat is
maybe
bad,
you're
this
also
game is
being
bad.
really confident because you're saying that it's going to probably get better and it's going to be good. I think that
Did I
if you
say
want to
that?
hold everyone to this standard,
Or did I
no,
say
but the
these are
whole-
my opinions? So what you said is I didn't say that, but you're holding words that I didn't say against me. Even though I give it a 6.5, even though I said this is my opinions 24 hours and I'll update it later. And that's why I'm saying you're saying words I haven't said and acting like I've said them. And that's why I'm writing this down.
But in your view, this like 24-hour thing.
Can we at least admit?
Right?
Can we at least admit that you misquoted me and I never said that?
Oh my god, bro.
Yes.
Great.
Sure. Okay. That proves nothing. Okay. Okay, sure. Regardless, wouldn't it be more of a service to the community and more fair to the community and more complete of a review if you didn't give a review 24 hours in? Because
Yeah.
I can give a review 24 hours in and I don't really like the game, but I'm wrong for that and you're right for that because you're positive?
No, that argument has never been made.
At the start of the video, you guys heard that she put about 10 hours in the game, right? And then she's already formulated an opinion that the game has a lot of issues, which it did had a lot of issues at the start. So Tectone is now walking back and saying that after he said that it's okay for him to have an opinion after hours as first impression, she can have opinions after first impression.
What I'm saying is, when I'll say it again, and I'll write it out.
Write it out, King.
Present your opinions as they come and disclaim them rather than having a short-term experience and assuming what you...
Hey, when Skull CJ had his first impressions, he stated that his first impressions of the game was bad. And you know what Tectone did? Tectone got real agitated on him and attacked him. And recently he had to delete the video afterwards when he realized that his community was giving him shit for it.
your long-term experience will be when you are monetarily incentivized to review a game.
What do you mean by monetarily incentivized to review a game? Just that you make money from posting videos?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I think you're doing the same thing, but it's positive for you and it's negative for me.
I think I've given fair, positive, and negative feedback to this game.
Yeah, because it's yours. Tectone has such a big freaking ego, it's insane. He just always believes that he's right.
I think that you've been significantly more positive than negative in a way that is odd when you present it as being a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay, so I should be less positive and be more negative?
I think that...
You shouldn't invalidate people's opinion. Like, everybody has their
I'm trying
own
to think
opinion.
of how to rephrase this. I think that I don't give a fuck what your opinion is.
Okay.
I just don't particularly like the way that you invalidate others' opinions.
Okay, but aren't you invalidating my opinion right now?
No.
Didn't you just say I was overly positive for a 6.5?
That is my opinion of your opinion. You can have it, but at the same time...
Right, so you can have an opinion on my opinion, but I can have an opinion of your opinion?
My opinions are not on your opinions, though. I'm not sitting here saying that anybody who agrees with you is stupid.
Okay, so your opinion
Oh my god.
on my opinion isn't your opinion. Try to understand this real quick. So I'm saying, how are what we're doing right now different from one another?
Because you're attacking other people's validity and having opinions at all. And I'm saying I don't like that. And somehow those are the same things.
Okay, so me attacking other people is me saying, hey, why don't we figure out what the whole game is before we shit talk it?
Yeah, because you're invalidating everybody's first impression of the game.
It's mostly just calling people stupid. It's saying that people are hate training if they don't like something. Like, why should I continue to play something for like dozens of hours if I just don't like it?
Because it's your job.
Okay, but I can still say that I don't like it, and that's why I'm trying to continue to play the game. And then I'm trying to do that. Well, why are you sitting here?
Okay, so just to make sure, the only time I've called people stupid for not liking this game is the UI. So let's just make that very fair, right?
Okay,
I said that if
and
you
say
don't
people
like
are
UI,
hate training.
people are absolutely hate training. If you're going to deny the hate training community right now,
Am I hate training the game?
that's your decision.
Answer the question,
But
Tom.
it's your decision on other people?
Okay, now hold up. Have you seen me say Hexjuice is hate training?
Oh my god.
No, but when you say
generalize
that,
it.
and I'm obviously the fucking like the tectone dick rider, people come to me about it first.
I think, actually, you know what? I think I would argue that you are hate training when you're saying that me being positive about a game is an issue.
I'm not saying that you being positive about the game is an issue.
Did you not just say that me being positive
I'm sorry you guys have to go through this. Let's bear with it a little bit longer, please.
Zenless Zone Zero when I gave it a 6.5 is a problem?
I'm saying that I thought it was an odd thing to say that you were so positive and then it was a 6.5, but I'm not saying that you being positive about the game is the issue. I'm saying that you say that people being negative about the game in the same amount of time sucks ass. Like, you're like, this whole conversation is just these like gotchas on gotchas on gotchas from you, and like I'm genuinely trying to like hear you out and have a conversation, but like it's about fucking driving me into a corner, and it's very difficult to have these, and that's kind of like I've never really particularly wanted to argue about this kind of stuff.
Just keep in mind, you brought me into this call, not me. You said you wanted to have a call.
Yes.
Right? I don't think that me having gotcha moments that have happened naturally is the same thing as me attempting to have gotcha moments normally.
Purpose, bro.
So let me get this right. So the guy who recently reacted to you and Legion's video that got upset and went on break for 5 fucking days because he doesn't like causing issues for his friends got you to invite me into a call because I wanted to make you look stupid. The guy who calls you off stream to make sure you're okay, you think I'm trying to make you look stupid right now.
I think you're trying to be the most right. I think you're trying to be the most right. I'm not saying that it's like you don't care or any of this shit. I'm saying that you're more interested in being more right.
And you think that I would do that.
And then when I get frustrated because you misrepresent my words, you call me emotional.
Because you were.
Which sucks.
Listen, I apologize that when you're being emotional, I say you're being emotional.
It's invalidating further the things that I say.
I think you can watch your VOD and see you getting emotional when arguments get very out of hand.
I was getting frustrated because you were being frustrated.
Right.
Because you're being frustrating. You calling me emotional is for the purpose of invalidating me.
No, I'm saying it because when emotions gets brought into a debate, things are going to get very serious. This is going to leave the relevant subject matter that we're discussing, and we're going to get caught up in our feelings. We're going to start throwing insults, and then we're going to start losing value of each other's opinions as of our people. Right?
I have not thrown any insults of you, and I have not attacked you personally. You attacking me for being emotional when you are choosing to use that as a way to invalidate me is a personal attack.
I think.
And was I frustrated? Absolutely. I'm not sitting here acting like I wasn't, but like that was a frustrating situation. Yes, I got frustrated.
Yes. And I said, hey, you're getting frustrated. You're getting emotional. This is going to get messy. Maybe we should peel it back. That's not me attempting to quote unquote attack you. And that's the terminology you're using right now because you're emotional, rather than just saying maybe he's saying this because he doesn't want things to get out of hand. Now, you can assume my intentions, but I think based on my track record, I don't have a history of doing that with you or any of my friends. But saying that I was doing that as a premeditated attack is insane.
I don't think it was a premeditated attack. I think it was deflecting.
How is me saying, hey, you're getting emotional, deflecting?
Because when you're doing frustrating shit, people get frustrated.
Okay, so I think in a debate setting, it's up to the two people involved
This argument is going nowhere, man. Jesus Christ.
responsibility.
I didn't want to talk to you to debate you, dude. You're in my chat chatting with me, and I don't want to go back and forth on chat. I said, call me. I don't care if you like the game. I just don't like being told that, like, I'm hate training all of this shit when I just genuinely don't like it.
Okay,
It's invalidating my logic when you do that.
Let me get this right. So you react to my whole video and you give your opinion on my opinion. I type in my chat about your opinion on my opinion. You offered a call and then we talk about our opinions and now I'm attacking you because we're discussing opinions.
I'm saying that specifically using the word emotional against me is an attack. It's a personal attack.
No, it's not. I think that you are wrong 1,000,000%.
I think you're wrong.
Okay, well, you are actually wrong if you think that me saying emotional isn't a fucking attack.
I'm sorry.
It's not talking about the argument though. It's talking about me as a person.
Okay, so let me get this right. If I were to scream into my microphone right now, you wouldn't say, hey man, you're getting a little heated.
This has gone so off the fucking rails, and I don't really like being upset with you or in general. And I don't really care to win this.
Okay, what I'm saying is when we have a debate, we have to keep things civil. And getting caught up in our feelings isn't good when we're having to have a discussion.
It's also not very civil to, like, straw man the things that I say and misrepresent the things that I say.
Well, then let's correct them. What do you think I strawmanned you for?
I don't even remember at this point because this has gotten, like, so fucking off the fucking rails, dude.
And don't you think that's not good when we say that we're doing things and then we don't remember what those things are? Because I think it's very important to at least have backup of what did I strawman? What did I misrepresent? That's why proof is very important. And that's why remembering things is very important. And that's why keeping things civil is very important.
I mean, it has to be difficult to be talking to tectone, man. Jesus Christ.
But I don't think that you have the right to get upset at me for giving my opinion of your opinion on my opinion.
My opinion of your opinion is that you can have your opinion. But acting like it's facts is annoying and inappropriate.
What do I say at the end of every one of my videos?
What is that?
But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, but you know. Yes.
That's literally one of my catchphrases, but that's just my opinion.
This is difficult to watch, man.
Sorry, I was reading a bunch of people attacking me for being a woman in my chat. My bad. I didn't hear what you said. Can you repeat yourself?
I said the same thing twice. You got it.
God.
Now, I will say, the only thing that I've said, and I presented where people disagree with me, and they're dumb if they disagree, is the UI. I think the UI is great. Outside of the exception of the side quest, until I found the filter option, then I just found that you can just press the filter button, everything makes sense. I think the UI is great.
Okay. And I disagree with you. And when you tell people that they're stupid for disagreeing with you, it sucks.
Yeah, but it's just a word, you know? I think the UI is just correct. I just think it's good. I think it's awesome. Unless you want to explain to me why you think it's bad. Because maybe there's
I've explained it at length on my stream, but you're not really interested in it because you're just going to argue every point. And the reality is the whole point of what I've been trying to say. And you did this to me earlier where you said, prove me wrong. And I said, I'm not going to because I respect your opinion. And I think that you have your own perspective and you have your own take. And that I have my own perspective and I have my own take. And so I'm not going to try to prove you wrong because I respect that you have an opinion. And you go, 'cause you can't! And then you close my stream. And I understand that part of that is showmanship. But the whole point that I'm trying to make is that people can have different opinions from you.
Sure.
And they're equally as valid. And there is no need to invalidate other people's opinions.
I think there
that
is
was
for the UI.
literally the entire thing I've been trying to say.
And I think that if you think that as a 30-year-old man, I don't get that people can have different opinions, then you're talking to the wrong person.
I don't think that you think that. I
And
think
you
that
keep
that's your
saying
character,
it.
and that's what you're doing, though.
It's literally just about the UI. It's not even that serious.
But, like, everything that, like, it's... That like I never said that I don't think you understand that. I think it is part of the showmanship of it. Like that I'm right and everybody else is wrong. I get it.
But like,
okay,
when you tell someone something, don't you think that like if I were to tell you, Hexjuice, your hair is red and black, wouldn't that, don't you think that would be because you think that person didn't know it? Because otherwise, like me going up to you and saying, Hexjuice, everyone can have an opinion.
But that's not an opinion. That's a statement of fact, and one of those can be proven wrong. They can be proven wrong or right.
Right. So what I'm saying is.
But that's a statement. But I'm saying that I don't enjoy the UI, and I think it's overly complicated, and I think it's unintuitive.
Sure.
And
That's
I
their
don't.
opinion.
And will I get used to it if I play the game more? Absolutely. But the point of a UI is that kind of you don't have to use it at all, right?
I'm gonna go here again. What I'm saying is, when you keep telling me that everyone can have an opinion and they're valid, what I'm saying is, don't you think you telling me that is because you think I don't know that? Or are you just saying things for fun?
No, that's not. I think that when you say that and you're you, everybody takes what you say entirely seriously. Like so many people. You're the biggest, you say it all the time, you're the biggest gacha streamer on the fucking universe,
God,
whatever,
man.
right? When you say that and you constantly hammer that in, that the only reason that realistically people would not like this game is because of hate training,
I haven't said that.
it would be easier for me to agree with you.
You said that. Oh my god. The thing that I don't like about it, there's a big part in this that Tectone cut out that made things look so bad. I don't know if I could find the original one, but he definitely cut out a part of it. And I remember it being him saying that something to do with because she's a woman. This can get very bad because she's a woman or something like that. In the middle of it, like Tectone is such a scummy guy, man.
Right now.
He cut that out.
That the vast majority of content creators are hate training. I apologize. I didn't have enough nuance there. The vast majority of content creators are hate training and crying.
Yeah,
if they don't like the game.
Yeah. Name me 4
You
positive.
understand that you're setting a narrative because you're the biggest content creator and people listen to you more. And the reality of the world is that everybody's opinion should be equal. But the reality of the world is also that they're not.
Yeah, but I also think that they are 100% doing that. And if I'm wrong, name me 5 CCs that are being positive about the game.
I don't need to name 5 CCs that are being positive about the game.
I think representing your arguments is important. So if you want to say that not everybody's hate training, okay, then show me people who aren't.
I'm not saying that not everybody is hate training. I'm
So
sure
they are
that
hate
there
training.
are people that are hate training, but
And
I
there it
don't
is.
think it is
Don't you
fair
get through
to
so much of
label
this, man?
people as across the board hate training or not specify. I am not hate training the game. It would be significantly easier for me to agree with you here.
Now, did you remember what I said after I said that?
What was that?
I said, if you have a viewpoint of the game, and this is the people who I'm discrediting people who are hating the game, who said, oh, this game's bad, and then they can't defend their viewpoints.
Yeah, and you know what immediately someone said in your chat when you said that was Hexjuice. When the reality is I've had plenty of reasons to back up why I don't particularly like the
Which
game.
means I'm not talking about you.
But the problem is that you set the narrative.
Of people who can't defend their viewpoints as being dumb and shouldn't be taken seriously?
You're giving chatters way, way more credit than they deserve on that. Because they're not going to hear that nuance. They're going to say anybody who disagrees with Tectone, because they're dumb little dum-dums, and my chat does this too, everybody's chat does this, but you have the biggest one.
Sure.
They're going to go, anybody who doesn't like the game is hate training. And any justification that I give is automatically going to be discredited because I disagree with you, because people who disagree with you are not valid.
No, I think people, first of all,
I would have streamed this,
where
but
you're
like,
getting this opinion from. I really think it's quite simple. If people are coming at you and saying that you're hate training, then just justify your views and then just move forward. Or link, just make a video saying, here are my full thoughts. Here's me defending my viewpoints. Also, the whole argument of you're a bigger CC is just come on. Like,
I'm not pulling a card about being a smaller CC. I'm saying that you are the most able to set a narrative.
Sure.
That
I
is
think
true.
And
that-
you're also the best at it. Like, to give you credit, it's not just that you're the biggest and therefore people listen to you more. You're also very good at setting a narrative.
I think that you get too upset at chat. And I think you should just ban and move on. Just press the ban
I
button and then
think-
they're gone.
Okay. And that has to do with what I said where?
So
can agree
you're
with you.
saying that people are coming into my chat and saying all this mean stuff, ban them.
Okay.
That's pretty much it, right?
Yeah. It's really because it's like this.
Imagine
I
banning
just
hundreds
feel
of
like it
thousands
is
of like
so
TikTok fans.
impossible to try to get my point across because like I'm saying you're invalidating and you're kind of saying that you kind of are. And then it's like just banning your chat.
I am
but
1,000,000% invalidating anybody who gives their opinion that can't defend their viewpoints. Absolutely.
But I'm not allowed, like, my viewpoint is not defensible because I've not played enough of the game, right?
I think that if you give your viewpoint and you justify your viewpoint and you also wait just a little bit longer to see everything the game has to offer, not play it, but at least be aware of it, then you're fine.
Okay, so how long do if I want to have my own opinion based off of my own playthrough, how long do I have to play the game?
I think somebody wouldn't judge Lord of the Rings by the first 20 minutes. I think they would watch the movie. So I think just, when a content creator gets to the end and they review the end, watch the review, and then say, oh man, the game's shit. I'm not saying a normal person doesn't do that, but for like someone who's like, who's a streamer, who's a content creator.
That's such an odd thing to say because it's like if you're saying that it is a content creator's responsibility to play through as much as possible when they're monetarily incentivized to review a game.
Yep.
Realistically, it should matter that I play the whole thing then. Just like it should matter that you play the whole thing then if you're going to start saying that it's pretty decent and that people should like that it's good.
Well, but I'm stating it as, once again, I'm stating it as these are my 24-hour opinions. I will update them later.
Like every single other content creator stated it as their opinion. My only tectone opinion matters.
My 24-hour opinions is that a lot of people are not going to find this game worth it to play.
Yeah, as long as you say that, it's fine.
But I thought that it was not fair to the community in order to have that opinion, because I haven't seen enough of it.
No, what I'm saying is taking your short-term views and projecting them onto long-term views is wrong. But if you state these are my short-term views, then it's fine. Who cares?
Okay.
And then I'm also saying people who hate train, which once again, I said this in the video. People who hate train and can't defend why they're saying they don't like something should not have that view stance. They should not have that viewpoint.
Yeah, I can validate all of my own opinions, and I can even validate my opinion about the UI. But it's like
then you're
it's
fine.
just dumb and wrong. But like it's so it's fucking frustrating to be invalidated just on the basis of having a different opinion. Like, because the whole point of this over and over again is that like you do invalidate people's opinions when you do this.
Sure.
You invalidate EO's opinions all the time by saying he's bad. Take EO. Like it's a thing that you do.
Yep.
He was absolutely happy that the gun got outed us. He was absolutely happy about that situation.
Right.
I think that you want people to see your opinion as valid and respect your opinion, and you don't do that for other people.
I think that's not true. I think I'm a pretty fair guy, and I play it down the middle, and if somebody makes a good point, I swap my opinions.
What is an example in which you've done that?
Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga, I said it was dog shit. Watch the first 3 episodes. Then my buddy Zizek says it'll be your favorite anime if you make it to episode 4. I watched episode 4, and now it's my favorite anime.
Okay.
You want to know
I
one?
think that Sure. And I'm talking about content creation because we both understand that these things are different.
Okay, so let me go
In
to
content creation, what
Yep.
is an example of a time where you have been confronted with a different opinion in content creation and you have changed your mind?
When I talked to Gotcha Smack 6 days
I don't think
ago.
you changed your minds. You didn't know. No, you didn't
Yeah.
change your mind.
Yes, I
Y'all,
did.
it was incredible. Y'all managed to both shake hands and just say that you were both right the whole time, which was crazy. You
Yeah, I
didn't
said,
change your mind about anything. You just kind of agreed to disagree that you had different
no,
mindsets.
I said that we had, we both
Oh my
have
God, bro.
justifiable points, which is the only thing that I worry about. I don't worry about being right. I worry
Two of the biggest egos, man. They just shake hands and say, "We're both right."
about
Yeah.
being justified in your logic.
Right, which is not changing your mind. That
Okay.
is not integrating someone else's point of view into your own.
Well, it is because he said Capcom would be one of the biggest things to capture for Zenless Zone Zero, and I also admitted that I was thinking from a small business perspective, but from a large business perspective, he was absolutely correct, which is also said in the video. Which, once again, I would like to say, you're putting me on my back foot, and the proof of evidence is put on the accuser, not the accused. And so I am giving you a little bit of leeway and allowing you to make claims and me prove them wrong rather than you prove yourself right. So you got to understand, this isn't how arguments work, but I am willing to play this just because, you know, I'm very familiar with my own work.
I don't think that I've made up anything. I think that I don't think that you changed your mind on anything in the Gotcha Smack thing.
Well,
I think that
did just give you
you said I'm right, but you can also maybe be right. But you didn't change, like, I don't think you changed your mind.
I said
I don't think that's an example of you changing your perspective. You said, I'm still right. I'm equally as right as I was before. And now you're also right to some extent in a certain specific way. But like, what I'm trying to say is there an example of you changing your mind when someone else gives you a different perspective?
I don't understand how you don't think me gaining perspective from someone else isn't me altering my viewpoint. And saying, yeah, you know what's right. Maybe the marketing wasn't so bad from a larger business perspective. I don't understand how you, because I said it was a purely bad decision. And then I said, actually, for a larger business perspective, it is correct.
I think there's a certain extent to which that is true, but I don't think that you are someone who is often willing to do that. And I think that's mostly because Gotcha Smack kind of put you in your place.
He put me in my place?
Well, meaning the directness with which he like responded.
So two adults had a conversation.
Yeah,
Would you like me to give another example of me changing my viewpoint?
Sure.
The original of Honkai Star Rail, I said that anybody who likes characters like Sparkle or Pela are fucking freaks, but now I've acknowledged that it's a gray area. And I understand that it depends on your perspective of how you view these models. And I said, you know what? Maybe they can just be young adults.
That's fair. I mean...
Sure. So once again, another thing you came at me for, I have shown you that you're just... like, it's just not happening. I'm very willing to change my viewpoint when logic has been brought that deems it worthy.
Guys, this argument went all over the place, man. I'm gonna make a part where I can skip through this, but like, bro, it's all over the place. I
think that is true to an extent, yes. And I understand that I have to back everything up with facts and logic. So that's more my feeling, and I'm going to acknowledge that.
Okay.
The whole point was just simply that perspectives are different than your own are also valid.
And my whole point is, I already know that, but if somebody has a different perspective and they
know that.
Yes, once again, I know that, and I'm just saying, if someone has a different perspective and they can't back it up with logic, they should pivot their stance, which I said specifically in the video.
Yes. And yet you still set these narrative, like, it's still a narrative that you've set. Like, I think that this has just become sort of like circle talking.
I 1,000,000% agree. But trust me, I'm a 30-year-old guy. I understand that people have different opinions.
No one ever said that.
Okay, then why do you continue to tell me that I'm saying that anybody who disagrees with me is wrong?
I'm saying that that is more or less what you say all the time. You do it to your chatters when you pull people up.
Because they're
and
wrong.
You've been doing it for the.
There it is. You admit it.
The chatters that I pulled up, which video do you think that chatter was right? The people who are telling me to kill myself. Which one of those people?
I know for a fact that you argued at length with somebody about the UI. And that is literally a perspective issue.
Where?
And a lot of people, where? I don't know.
Yeah.
I was told that you were from
Well, then just show me.
from chatting. From
Just
chatters.
Just show me.
Show you what?
Well, show me
you want me to
that.
scrub through 12 hours of footage?
Okay, well, dude, I saw you telling some guy that being a pedophile was okay.
Okay.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, let's not make up examples. Let's just like show it.
Okay. Was that actually just you responding to Genazod? Is that what it was?
Yeah, just me talking to Genocide, which also he said the clip is horribly out of context.
Okay.
I think just think you're getting one guide on repeat.
No, I'm not. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm just like I don't really like I don't want to fight with you. I don't agree with you. And I don't also think
What do you disagree with? If you don't agree with me, what do you think I'm saying that's wrong?
You're just gonna keep doing this shit that you do where you like it's all gotchas and shit, and I don't really want to do it.
I think I've been very fair this whole time.
This conversation it's painful to listen to, man. It's absolutely painful. I apologize for you to listen to it. If you decide to listen to it, we have been just circle jerking the entire time with Tectone, like this, not getting to the point, bro.
Your points, like talked about every single point. If we disagree, we talked about it. I feel like I'm being pretty fair.
Yeah, I don't really agree with you. But you're a much better arguer than me, and I'm very aware of that.
I think that you're a great
I'm
arguer.
not.
Tectone is not good at arguing. Tectone is good at like how should I say it? Dragging the conversation out. Like making the conversation that should have been 2 minutes into like an hour and 40.
I'm not against you though.
No, I think you're a fantastic arguer, and also I think you have a massive buff on the internet, which is being a girl, and people are going to be more sympathetic to what you're saying, because if a guy says
we get into good stuff.
girl, people are going to be like, oh my god, you're a villain. Case in point, when I called you emotional, people freak the fuck out, and I think I'm on a back foot here, is what I think. That's just my perspective.
I have not attempted in any way to use like that, like pulling card shit against you.
Oh,
I didn't bring up the emotional thing because I was a woman. I brought it up because it was invalidating.
No. I'm not saying you did anything because you're a woman. I'm saying on the internet, when a guy and a girl interact, it's very uncomfortable when things get heated or in a debate.
Sure. Yeah,
Because like if me and Shinya were to have this exact same conversation, it'd be a lot easier. But yeah, it's a very uncomfortable dynamic for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this has been sort of a waste of time.
I 100% agree.
I think you're saying that because I think you now understand what I'm saying, and you realize I wasn't as being unreasonable as you think, and now
No, that's not what she think.
you want to surrender the point, because I feel like everything that I've said is completely fair.
I think that you've done a lot of straw manning me and taking me out of context, and I know that you've done this like notepad thing to make it seem more fair. And I think you've been very reasonable, and you've stated your opinions very like nicely, and I get all of that stuff.
Okay, so rather than
I
saying,
still don't agree.
Rather
with you.
than saying what I've done, because I'm not going to leave this call until you actually prove what I've done wrong. Because right now what you're saying is, I feel like you've done this and done that, and then you're not showing me to do that. So show me where I strawmanned you. Show me where I took you out of context, and let's talk about it. Rather than just saying you're a big bully and you're...
Okay, that's all. When she was talking about our... I don't even remember too that he's so good at it, man. This is the master at work at strawmanning. I remember she was talking about that how people are not gonna trust Zenith Zone Zero too much because like they have been burned by Hoy versus the company, And then he took that and said that, okay, so are you saying that Hoyoverse as a company is bad? Because you get what I'm saying? He like takes what you're saying and then take a snippet of it and then start arguing on something else.
Being mean because you're a larger content creator. Just show me what I've done.
I've not done that.
You quite literally just said I strawmanned you. You tell me over and over again how I have.
No, I've not said anything. Like, I've not said you bullied me into content creator shit.
You keep on bringing up numbers like 8 times this conversation, Hex. What else do you think that's going to do? You're setting a narrative for people to feel that way.
Oh my God, that's not why I'm saying that. I'm saying it because you understand that you have a certain level of influence in the community. I didn't bring that up to go, wah, wah, I have smaller numbers. I said it because you have a certain level of influence, and when you say things, it matters.
Exactly. And don't you think that's setting the narrative that larger content creators have more power and are bullies? Just like me saying that people who have
a bully,
right,
dude.
but you're setting the narrative, right? Just like I'm setting the narrative when I say things like content creators who can't back up their viewpoints shouldn't be taken seriously.
Yeah, and I'm taken less seriously because of what?
Because you're a good guy, because you're a smaller content creator. You're one of the good ones.
I'm taken less seriously because I'm smaller, I'm less experienced, and I'm not as good at arguing against you.
Okay.
And that's a reality, and that's fine. I'm not calling you a bully.
Sure, but I think you're
like you're like.
Do you see what I'm doing here? I'm saying that the same thing that you're accusing me of doing, which is setting a narrative, even though I didn't directly say that, is what you're doing by saying the larger content or anything. It's setting a narrative where people think that I have more power and I have more control, and it's invalidating my opinion just because I'm larger, right? These are things beyond both of our control, and these things will both happen, and that's why I'm talking about this. I don't actually care. What I'm saying is you can't be responsible for whatever narrative people make off of your words if they were not your intentions. And even though it wasn't your intention
it kind of high-key is your intention, no?
Prove it.
Is that not like, I can't prove your intention, but is that not still like your intention, whatever, the result is the result.
Sure. And that's the same thing with you.
And you understand when you do things, what your result is going to be.
What I understand
you understand that. I know that you are very intelligent about these things.
What I understand is the internet will run rampant with any bit of information that they have. Whether that's rational or irrational, that's up to them. Usually it's the latter due to the fact that it's the fucking internet.
Don't you think that maybe nobody would have that impression and the internet wouldn't run away with it if you didn't say that anyone with the nuance of if they validate their opinions, blah, 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 right? But basically, ultimately what people hear because they're stupid and it's the internet, and you and I both understand that they're not going to understand the nuance of what you said. When you say people with all that nuance ultimately are hate training or not very intelligent or whatever it is, that is still setting a narrative, and maybe you could just not say that.
So what you're saying is that if I speak with any nuance whatsoever, it's going to be invalid because people don't understand it, and that's my responsibility that people are stupid.
No, what I'm saying is you could just not say that part at all and just have your own opinion and not talk about the validity of others' opinions, and it would be perfectly fine.
I feel like it was important to address it because I was talking about the community aspect of the game, and I do think that there is a large amount of negativity towards this game, and I think people who give opinions before people take those seriously, make sure they understand the logic of which they reach those opinions rather than taking their opinions at face value, which I think is a good learning experience for anybody on the internet because coming from a younger audience, people don't understand that yet, and that's why I said it, because it's a learning experience.
You could just say that people should play the game themselves and form their own opinions.
Sure.
But instead, you say it a different way, which is invalidating. And you are not that invalidates other people's opinions when you do that. I don't understand this.
Okay, I'm going to say this one more time. And I've said this, I've counted. I have said this 5 times already. I am legitimately attempting to invalidate anyone's opinion that cannot back up their views. I am not attempting to invalidate anybody else's opinion if they can back up their views. people not understanding nuance is not my responsibility, and you pushing that onto me is a very slippery slope, Hex. Because if you think that when people misunderstand you, it's your fault, I promise you, you don't want that on your own.
Mm-hmm.
I agree that assuming that any amount of nuance being ignored and that it is your responsibility to force people to understand nuance is fair. I also think that you don't have to invalidate other people's opinions in order to have your own.
Once again, I'm only invalidating people's opinions that they can't defend. This is something very important to me. It's the same thing with family values, because I instill this in my chat. If you believe in something and you don't know why you believe it, then don't believe it. Or get more informed.
How could someone defend their views enough that you would not immediately invalidate their opinions?
Just say, hey, I like it, here's why. Oh, okay. Like,
Hey, I don't like it, here's why.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh my god, bro.
Once again, I mean, I think you're assuming that I was talking about you, but I even put in that little nuance bit so that way it wouldn't go out for people who actually have valid opinions like yourself. That's why I said, why would you be upset at somebody who can explain to you why they don't like it?
There's the same guy who was upset that Skull GJ for explaining why he was upset with the game.
Fair enough. Okay.
I think the people that are coming who are too stupid to understand nuance, just ban them, right? Because anybody who's actually worth keeping would actually understand that shit.
All right, I'll go ahead and do that.
Jesus. Was there anything else you want to talk about?
Not particularly, no.
Okay, let me know if you remember how you feel I've misrepresented you, and I'll correct it to my chat. Oh,
all right.
Fuck.
That sounds good.
All right, cool. Have a good stream, homie.
See you later.
Peace. Jeez.
Look, I feel like I'm cutting that out of the video, man. That's a waste of my time, bro. That was a waste of my time. Holy shit. Yeah, there's a part in this that he cut out. He cut out a part in this, and you can definitely see the cut. And that's a scummy. Like, again, I expected that from tectone. Did anybody? Yeah. Yeah, I was fucking right. Why you cut the tectone? Yeah, I don't believe that. I remember that time. What he said was, "Let me slow it down for you, Hexjuice, so that you can understand." Very contradicting stuff he said. So it's lost the time. Fuck me, bro. So where were we? Jesus Christ, that took way too long. Okay, I won't pretend that I did my best in that discussion, but I was taken off guard by the way he's speaking to me while he had unkind immobile times before then. It was usually... I knew you were in here. Give me a second, let me get that cat out. The cat is out. What is that word? Innumerable times. Okay, so I won't pretend that I did my best in the discussion, but I was taken off guard by the way he was speaking to me while he had been unkind innumerable times before then. It was usually with a tone that indicated it was supposed to be taken as a joke. I didn't know I was going into a debate with tectone, something I I said even publicly that I didn't want to do. I think this is the second clip here.
We'll just say, hey guys, Tectone's right. You should believe in Tectone, and whatever you say, if you're disagreeing with Tectone, you're probably wrong. And even if you're not wrong, gonna be honest, you probably should not bother trying to argue with Tectone, because even on a personal level, arguing with Tectone is a waste of fucking time, because he will always win. Even if he's wrong, he'll win. Tectone is a great arguer. He is a very skillful arguer, and arguing with Tectone is a waste. A waste of time. So he's either right or he's gonna convince himself and everybody else that he is.
Yeah, arguing with Tectone is a waste of time, bro. Arguing. I feel like I waste my time. I feel like I waste your guys' time. I feel pissed off that I waste their time. Like it was a pain. For TLDR of the discussion, I eventually accused him of using his influence to create narratives about people and situation. He brought out the Notepad app to use as a tool to manipulate the argument, and then started accusing that I was manipulating the situation to win the audience over because I was a woman. He was incredibly aggressive, manipulative, and mean spirited throughout the conversation, and kept me on long after it was clear I was on the verge of tears. Yeah, it was way too long, man. I did not feel that I could leave. I knew that I would be called weak, and the community would never let me live it down, letting them win the debate. Yeah, you were always gonna lose that debate. It is what it is. There was fallout immediately after, with another large content creator inserting themselves into the situation. I had issues with that content creator early in the year, and they put me in the position of choosing them, a person who had attacked me multiple times previously. Tectone. I was still incredibly hurt by the situation, or somehow neither, which would have meant I had to deal with the harassment from essentially the entire gacha community and beyond. I chose Tectone. We don't need to get into that video. Maybe one of these days we go back and visit it in a separate video. I think we should, but like in this video context, I won't. I still believed that we were friends, and I still wanted to believe in the goodness I had seen in him when we first met. Beyond that, I knew that once I turned on him, there was no coming back from it. I had seen the way other content creators that had earned his ear still receive constant harassment even years after their conflict. I had watched him encourage continuous harassment of other content creators for months by bringing up their channel and praising the comments section for filled with his audience bullying them. Oh my god, the dogs. By this point, I had received an absolute inordinate amount of harassment from for the size of my platform for 6 months nonstop. I did not even fully recover from this argument. The harassment from the other creators' audience was vicious, and Tectone didn't really have my back. So what she's talking about is that when she went and like had Tectone's back instead of Mtash, everybody called her out as a rat because she, to give context, she met up with Mtash, and she vented her frustration with him a little bit. They talk it out, and I think Mtash got a little bit too emotional on it, and she then distanced herself from it. And when she got brought into the conversation when Tectone bring her up, she literally just sided with Tectone. And it took the Mtash feel like he got set up and stabbed in the back. he made it abdominantly clear. It's like if you ever watch Shield Hero, the early part of Shield Hero, with that girl, the radio girl, I believe, you'll know exactly how that went down. He made it abundantly clear that he thought the situation was my fault. Who made that? Tectone? And yeah, Tectone. And was angry because he also received some amount of harassment because of how he spoke to me, which was true. Because he publicly made it clear that he blamed me, and I also received a large portion of harassment from his own audience. My choice to side with Tectone was made out of my own naive loyalty to a friend, and you would think that made me safe from his error. It did not. That here's a clip of him making fun of me about it almost immediately after. Okay, so that is evidence number 3. Let's get into it.
Wait, what? That must be a mistake. How are children supposed to understand such a complicated topic?
In my opinion, as far as reconstruction plans go, I think Bella
Oh, that's the exact problem with what happened earlier with me and Hex.
Ooh. 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 Okay, he made a video talking about it indirectly where he belittled me and blamed me for the situation the next day. Okay, so this is not this clip. We're gonna only give this 5 minutes
Traders
max.
have really tried to decide that they understand what these fallacies mean. I decided to make a video reacting to every logical fallacy that's been explained, so that way chatters and viewers know what these means before content creators try to manipulate you into believing a term that doesn't apply to their current scenario. Case in point, straw man and cherry picking, and also gaslighting are some of the most misused fallacies, and I think it's very important for the community to understand these words. That way they don't
This is beautiful. This is a direct proof that I did follow Tectone. Mtash, I think you need to understand how what you say can hurt others. Tectone, so what you're saying, you know how X feels more than her. Hex, cause X. I don't like how you assume I'm upset. I'm upset, yes, but you can't tell me I'm upset, aka mentally deranged. So what I mean by this is that I was hard on Hexjuice, huh? I was hard on Hexjuice. What I was saying is that Hexjuice said that she didn't feel good. Then when Tecto bring her up, like she was like saying that okay, you can't assume how I feel, but then is willing to side with Tecto that was assuming how she felt.
don't fall for some fake ass bullshit, and make sure to understand the words before you believe that the content creator is using them right. All right? We're gonna get educated, guys. We're gonna get educated. Ad hominem is also great. Let's go.
Ad hominem fallacy. The ad hominem fallacy happens when someone attempts to discredit someone's argument with personal attacks rather than the substance of the argument itself. Hasty general.
So let me give you an example. Some guy says he wants to do a good thing, and you say it's impossible to do this good thing because he did a bad thing before. Just because.
Let's not go into that. Screw that. It's a waste of time. You've already wasted too much time. After this, Tectone started to semi-regularly berate me on stream in a way that is difficult to describe. I don't have clips of all of these because it was over a year ago and I didn't have to go through. I don't have to go through hundreds of hours of stream. He made it clear on stream and privately that I was not to disagree with him publicly anymore because it made him look bad. He told me I would never be allowed to engage in a debate with him again, and that he would never disagree with a woman publicly in the future either because people make it weird. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, this clip isn't the worst of them. This is a good look at him being extremely manipulated because I disagree with his take on Mr. Beast. Now, I think this is this one.
To ask you to do me a favor. Stop typing in chat when you're upset about this shit, okay? Because you're going to cause issues again. All right? Second of all, there's a big difference in torturing people unconsensually versus people consenting for it. saying, I will do this for this money. It is so different, it's insane. Because I'm telling you, X, we don't want to do this shit again. Okay? I don't need you to farm my chat. Like, we already talked. We're not going to fucking argue again. Okay? But there is a huge fucking difference. There is a huge fucking difference between capturing people.
Last year, bro. That's unfortunate. So where we are. Another one here. Here's the clip of him randomly screaming at me over love of this space. Around 2 hour and 34 minutes is this one, right?
Just normally looks aloof. He probably
Hex! Shut the fuck up!
A fast resting heart rate. What riled you up this time?
You're
This is why I believe that Tectone's screwed, because Tectone cannot. Oh my god, this guy, Tectone friend too, man. Tectone can't keep his mouth shut. So when he comes back to stream, it's only a matter of time before he goes to jail. And I'm looking forward to that. Here's him again belittling and blaming me for the argument and putting me in the worst light possible. So it's this one, I believe. This is not too far, so on 425 to 427.
Soon is, then how about a follow-up message of, hey, when do you want to talk? It's like, bro, like, don't put me in these situations like Hexjuice did, where I gotta explain people how to fucking communicate and talk, and then I sound like the condescending douchebag. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm gonna sound a little bit aggressive and a little bit like a dickhead when I have to explain to people the basics of human speech. Hey, man, I want to talk. Okay, let's talk soon. I have them on Twitter. I have them on Discord. How the fuck is that a ball in my court scenario? Just give them the benefit of the doubt. What did I even do? You were making some dumbass points about ZZZ. Your ass got cooked. And then you pulled the emotional woman card that I had to deal with on stream. And then I get called the bad guy because you was being a bitch. I still got to deal with that shit. Yep. Yeah, the worst thing is you're female. You pulled the emotional card? Hex, in what scenario do you mock someone's voice when you're not emotional?
This ASMR shit. Quick. Okay, we got like that. That is wild. I think we said that more. It's 31, right?
Oh, do I get to debate again? Hell no, you'll be emotional. Absolutely not. No. Yeah, no, you don't. You lost that card. You should go debate St. Tontas and then have a hissy fit next to him. And then get him negative PR for 5 fucking months. Mods, ban all women.
Damn. Damn, bro. Guys, I would have streamed this, but like as I told you guys, I don't, the Wi-Fi is currently down. Like all of this is just data from a hotspot from my phone. Even in the video he made reviewing the post announcing my hiatus, he constantly belittled me and was incredibly unkind. Okay, we have that footage for you guys right here.
definite hiatus. Content creation was everything to me, but I can't find my passion for it anymore. I didn't know about this. I'm going to go to law school, and I hope we see each other on YouTube or Twitch again someday in the future. Thank you for everything. What the fuck? Oh, this isn't caused by me saying if you're above 30 and you're not a millionaire, then you're wasting your life, right? Wait, this isn't because of me, right? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, it's me. Hold up. I'm going on an indefinite hiatus. I've been incredibly unsure of how to say this, or if I want to say anything at all. I didn't know how to explain what has changed for me over the last 6 months or so. I lived and breathed content for almost 3 years before most anyone knew me, and even for the last several months, while I wasn't posting any content. Since the last year, I've been struggling to find the same passion for content that kept me constantly creating and obsessing over what would come next. Content creation has always been a very passion-based thing for me. I almost never struggled for motivation because I needed to make content. I needed to go live. Naturally, when I became struggling with that motivation, I assumed it would eventually pass. I went through a lot last year, publicly and privately, and I thought I just needed a chance to recover. I tried coming back to content and streaming a few times and had some fun. I made a few videos that I liked quite a lot, but the spark, the excitement never really returned. A few weeks of recuperation turned into months. My mental health improved, as in my personal relationships. I had everything I needed just to get back into content, and I just couldn't. I don't know if I changed, if content creation changed, or what changed. Probably a bit of both. A lot of other things. Living my dreams meant seeing a lot of hard realities and learning a lot about my values, the world, and myself. Eventually felt less present in a world of algorithm, SEO, and X situation is why. All that is to say, I'm choosing to devote my time to going back to school to become a lawyer. I'm excited to possibly be someone who gets to make the world better rather than be one of those content creators.
You know, it would be very funny. Like, Hexjuice was the lawyer for Pink Chu in the case. Man, imagine it. Imagine if, like, all right, so law school takes like around 7 years. Why do I know this? Because it was what I was about to do. But like, I had all the qualifications to do it, but like, I look at it as 7 years of college. Fuck that. But it would have been very funny to see Hexjuice being the lawyer for Pink Chu.
That say, wait, rather than be one of those damn that's crazy reactors everyone makes fun of all the time.
Well, she shouldn't have missed the Pokemon.
Yeah, true. Hey, man. Hey, man, not all reactors are created equal, man. They're really not. There's one really good one, and everybody else is kind of just like, just not really good as the original.
Man cannot stop stroking himself, man.
I hope that someday
All 1 inch of it.
I get to an incredible urge to create something on the internet again, and we can see each other in a YouTube video in the future. But now my priority is forging a new path for myself and creating a space for myself that makes my heart happy the way content did for a while. Thank you to all of my friends, to my incredibly loyal community, and to everyone who's ever supported me, everyone who watched my streams and videos, everyone who chatted with me, and even a little to all the haters. I achieved some incredible things last year, and I couldn't have gotten to see what my dreams look like without all of you. In the meantime, you can always catch me ranting on Twitter. I refuse to give up that platform, and I still love to see y'all engage my rambling on there. The Discord will stay up and still be moderated. I still love reading what y'all write in there and keeping myself to take it down. I'll see y'all later. Be kind to others. Be kind to yourself. Find your juice and give the world hell. Baba Booey, these nuts.
Okay, what are your thoughts, boss?
MTAST 1. Damn, bro. Damn. MTAST 1. Now, I did already see this. I didn't read all of it, but I did give her a, said you the best. Ah, man. The got to space without Hex. You know what's crazy is that yesterday I was legit wondering, like I often do, what the fuck happened to Hex? That's a shame. However, it's a shame for the content creation space. It's not a shame for Hexjuice's mental well-being, her relationship, her personal life, and I think this is the right call. I think Hex knew that kind of just floating around, dedicating that much time to content creation when you're really not getting that much back out of it is usually just a waste of time. I think this is the better play. But it does make me sad because I do think the gacha space was better with someone like her in it. I remember.
It's gonna be better for you because like you have people to farm. Tectone, yes, it did a lot of good for the gacha space. Also, did and bring a lot of bad for gacha space, and that's the initial problem. Like I don't have to go through this to figure out how, even the video he pronounced haters, he constantly belittling me. I don't know. I don't see him being unkind yet. Like, am I missing anything?
Hex was a viewer of mine for years, actually. I didn't know this until she told me about this. But she watched me and Asmongold quite vigorously. And I remember she got into her first little drama with B-Mao and Yolance Leifdow. And I had a call with her at Cabo Bob's. I was getting myself a fish taco. It was great. And she was calling me, and she was stressed, and she was even crying a little bit. And I didn't even know her, but I still, I picked up on call for her. And we talked it out, and she said what everybody always says, which is, wow, I always thought you'd be a massive dickhead, but you know what? You're actually really sweet, which is usually what happens to people when they talk to me in real life. And going from her, freaking the fuck out to being calm and kind of getting mental clarity and then handling that drama the best way she did to then having my back in future dramas was pretty damn nice. I mean, Hexjuice was a great friend. Obviously, we had that whole issue where, she was over-emotional, but she's a woman. And that's to be expected, am I right, boys? Fuck women.
Oh. Okay, I see what you're talking about now. Took a while to get there, but I see what you're talking
She hates when I say that, by the way. She hates when I say that, and I know if she were to watch this video, I know she'd get a big smile out of that. We've talked about that, but I love her.
I don't think she's smiling, bro. Okay, I see what she's talking about. Okay, I think we have done for the reviews so far. I initially took a break from streaming to recover from my harassment that had been ruined my mental health and dealt with issues in my personal life. And I tried coming back to stream in early 2025. Ultimately, I realized that I just didn't see a future where I was happy as a content creator. Tectone was ever present, and I feel pressured to feign and continue to continue an amicable friendship with him. I wanted to make more political content, but was becoming increasingly aware that my leftist intersexual feminist belief would put me at odds with him, which will make you a prime target of Tectone, which is true. While I was a small creator, and not really a threat to him, I was more than aware that to disagree with him would be to suffer his wrath. I had, after all, seen him take down others for less. I officially announced my indefinite hiatus around April of 2025. Okay, that's when she decided that she's not gonna be coming back for a while. I am not proud of my behavior throughout my content creation career. I never imagined that I would end up a gacha slop creator or to a React channel or someone who was too afraid to speak my political opinions. I look back on this time of my life with absolute adjust. I still can't believe the ways that I compromise my beliefs and compromise the quality of my character, but I was afraid. I was afraid of the harassment I received constantly. I was afraid of other content creators that dislike or harass me. I was afraid of Tectone. I wanted to be a content creator so badly, and it felt like the only way to do that was by keeping Tectone happy. Now, I know many of you guys don't like Hexjuice, but I am gonna say something in her defense here. Like, you see all these videos, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They are put together not just a day, but for a long time. Even these 2 clips in particular, there are things that she sat on, but she was like probably scared to talk about it. So I am inclined to believe her in this situation, that she wanted to talk about this and she was just setting it up properly so she can publish it to everybody, because these clips were set up a long time ago. And then she said she had law school too, so law school is probably gonna take up a lot of time, so she can't scroll through hours and hours of footage and streams to find every single instance where Tectone did horrible things to her. And she is right. Like, she did block off comments on her YouTube channel. She deleted Twitter, as you guys know. So that really kind of pissed off the Tectone meat riders, because they can't attack her, period, because they can't attack her on Twitter because like she's not there, and they can't attack her on YouTube because comments are off. So they're screwed. They're absolutely screwed. I think the only thing they're gonna do is like dislike bomb her videos, our recent videos. But apart from that, I don't think anything is gonna come out of it really. So yeah, like, many people, for the outside looking in, yeah, Tectone is a small fry. It's just a normal streamer. But like, from the gacha space in general, Tectone is the big dog. Tectone is a big one. So of course Tectone is gonna have that presence, ever lasting presence over everybody. And you have to watch what you say around him, because like, his people are jobless. They will literally be there, sitting there watching you as a content creator, waiting for the slightest slip up so they can say, "Look, boss, look what I found. Acknowledge me." For a long while, I would respond if he messaged me, or answer if he called. I watched him become more political and extreme, and justified it by saying that he was going through a hard time, when he admitted in court that he switched up to right wing because like he realized that it's popular. Very funny, grifter. And that it wasn't really an indication of his character, I should say. After I officially went on extended hiatus in April 2025, I had been inconsistent or on break since November 2024. His interest in me plummeted, and I heard from him extremely influently. I still try to. Why are you using so much big words, man? Stop it. Like, I am from a third world country. I can't do this. Placate him throughout this time, because I hadn't 100% decided on quitting content creation altogether. And I was afraid that if I didn't respond or said something negative to him directly, he would begin to hate campaign against me. I had watched him do similar campaigns against content creators who reacted privately regarding his political stance. I also still went back and forth on whether he had changed. Funny that you capitalized that, given Tectone's last video is called Change. Or had been manipulating me since the beginning, which was an incredibly confusing process. After his full outright pivot, I couldn't pretend that the person who had helped me in the beginning was still there. I also decided that the content landscape in general was not a place that I could thrive. I blocked him and removed myself from basically all creator space in September 2025. Okay, it's funny that you're looking for. I couldn't pretend that the person who had helped me in the beginning is still there. I guess he changed. He definitely changed. Why am I so thirsty, man? I'm only halfway there, bro. Part of the reason it has taken so long is that I've struggled over the last year offline to put the pieces together. which is what I was saying. While my time as a content creator was extremely flawed, I've come to the realization that much of the vile harassment I've received, was due to the environment Tectone created around himself, which is true. In the short time I did non-gotcha content in 2024, I received virtually no harassment, even when I had critical views over an issue. Commenters and viewers would disagree with me, but that's not the same as the harassment I receive daily in gotcha. And it's not gotcha, it's Tectone's community. It's Tectone's fucking community, man. The environment also got significantly worse over time. Tectone became very specific about raising his community like an army to defend him, which is true, making it clear he wanted them to autonomously go out and seek his enemies. I wish I could find the clip of this. I remember it, but I don't remember where he did it, and I don't watch his streams like that, so I wouldn't know where exactly he did it. But again, it was 1 to 2 years ago, and hundreds of hours of stream. The gotcha audience outside of his fan base also responded to how inflammatory he encouraged everyone to be, making the space extremely volatile, even if they weren't directly fans of Tectone. He also developed a group of other smaller content creators who seemingly will defend his every action to this day. Saint Tontus, Blazion, and others. Gotcha Smack. He enforced strict compliance with those who are around him. Is cultish. It's cultish, absolutely, and every bit of it seems weird, which is true. I've said that before, that it's a cultish thing that he has. Looking back, being in a circle genuinely felt like being in a high demand religion. I probably sound insane, but you're not insane. That is true. But the strict adherence to Tectone doctrine, use of true terminating critiques. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that word. And use an us versus them mentality among his close friends would be very familiar if you've ever researched cults. It has felt like I have had a deconstruct brainwashing for the last year to gain a better perspective. Like, we've seen this plenty of time. Like, look at Pixel Tree, Wooderay's content creator. He just mentioned that how Wooderay's exploration and the world feels empty, and what happened? Everybody collectively grouped together, Saint Tontus and Co, and they attacked this one content creator for having an opinion. Who was it? Foxhole. I learned this from Foxhole, that Legion Gaming, Tectone 2. He was in Captain Cabinet's chat telling the people that he can't wait to cook a Pixel Tree. And then after he made the video, he made it seem like he didn't know anything about the situation going into it, when he was in Captain Cabinet's chat, like saying that he's gonna go after him so hard, which oh my god. I've talked enough about my experience with Tectone, and now I want to address Pink. The reality was that I knew both of them. I met Pink shortly after Tectone through him, and we spoke a handful of times privately. We were acquaintances, and she talked a lot about her troubles with Freem and her relationship with Tectone to me, always in positive terms before her breakup. While she did warn me about a few things regarding her relationship with Tectone after they broke up around September 2024, she did not tell me about the sexual assault. She explained that the entire situation regarding the harassment from Freem was fabricated by Tectone. Okay, we see it here. She explained that the entire situation regarding the harassment from Freem was fabricated by Tectone. These are multiple people saying the same thing, which I was shocked by, although with some other embarrassing information about Tectone that is not my place to confirm, probably the small penis. This information really tore me apart for a long time, but naively I wanted to believe that they were misunderstandings or not the full picture. I eventually decided to ask Tectone, who I still wanted to believe was my friend, that was going what was going on, and he seemed to put a lot of my concerns at ease, confirming and explaining away some of the things while denying others. I am being vague here mostly because not all of this is 100% public yet, so there's still more behind the scenes that we do not know about, and it's not information for me to share. I came to believe, as I always had, that he was flawed and an asshole, but that the relationship overall was toxic and not abusive. Now, side note, legal mindset is the kind of YouTube lawyer that is in Tectone's pockets. It's about to get sued by Pink Chu for doxing her. So good on him. Good on him. He doxed her so that people can harass her, and it's gonna backfire. Like, as a lawyer, that's dumb for you to do that. Just saying. When I had that call with Tectone, he convinced me to go to TwitchCon. Never meet up with a predator on undisclosed location. To meet him, which was a genuine bizarre experience. In hindsight, it seemed like Tectone was intentionally trying to be at events where he thought Pink would attend. Okay, aka stalking her. He invited me to a party full of VR chat streamers, making it clear after I got there that everybody at the party hated him. It was really confusing as to why this was where he wanted to meet me for the first time. Looking back, I think he was hoping Pink would be there. Oh my god. He also pressured me during that call to call Pink and tell her that I didn't want any part of the situation. I regret this more than anything. Oh my god. So he also pressured Hexjuice that she should call Pink and tell her that I didn't want any part of the situation. So he was trying to tell Hexjuice, try to not make Hexjuice and Pink talk to each other and share information, because like that is messed up. I regret this more than anything, and it is something I will be apologizing to Pink privately, among other things. It was difficult to understand what was actually happening in their relationship. It felt like throughout I knew too much and nothing at the same time. I was given a lot of information and was one of the few people they actually confirmed their relationship to be their relation to before their breakup. At the time, I had only known Tectone for a few months and was honored to be told a secret that wasn't public knowledge. I also was just an internet friend that never hung out with them in person. I understand now that the information I received about their relationship was confusing and contradictory because it was an abusive relationship. This is sad, man. By the time Pink came out with the sexual assault allegations around 2 months after her initial warning to me, I already been convinced that she was stalking him, obsessed with him, and trying to ruin his life, because this is what Tectone probably told her. Oh my god. Many people think that Pink Chu went to this legal case to ruin Tectone's career, when that's not the case. Like, she went to this because she wanted protection from somebody that she feels was like a harasser, because it has been confirmed by the court case that Tectone stalked her, Tectone sent threats to her, Tectones have guns. All these three are facts. 100% facts. So that is why she wanted this protective order. And he got the highest sentence of a protective order, which means that what they found on his phone with him stalking her and doing all this crazy stuff, sending threats, were 100% confirmed in court, as he wouldn't have gotten 10 years. I can only say that I regret not taking her warning seriously, that I hate the way I swallowed Tectone's manipulation afterward. I am disgusted by this behavior, given the havoc he wreaked in my life and in less than a year over the internet. What happened to Pink over several years in his home is entirely unimaginable. And think about this: if Hexjuice is saying that what happened to Pink is unimaginable, and then Pink said what happened to Freem is ridiculous, like, what the hell happened to Freem? What happened? I believe in everything Pink asserted in her court case, and this is in all caps too. While I cannot speak to the horror of her sexual assault, I can speak to the I'm not gonna pronounce that word. Coercive control used against me, and that I've seen him wield against virtually anybody close to him, everyone close to him. Seeing him in a more honest light now, I wholeheartedly believe that he is more than capable of sexually assaulting, manipulating, and stalking Pink. I believe he did it because I've seen the kind of person he is, and anyone who knows him know how now could search in their heart and find the same answer. Bro, this is some deep shit, bro. I do not have the words to describe my regret. I cannot believe that I considered him a friend of mine for so long, and I can only work to be a better woman advocating, better woman's advocate in the future. Like, oh my god, bro, that is insane. This is very long. Yeah, it is. This has been a long video for me. This is one of my longest videos, I believe. And I doubt that its impact will be much. I don't have anything to gain from posting this at this point, but as a defunct VTuber, I felt I finally need to do the right thing as Hexjuice and tell the truth. I lied to myself and others around me, trying to justify Tectone's behavior and protect himself from him. There is so much more I can say, but all I really should say is that I'm sorry. I should have been better as a content creator, more true to myself. It has taken until recently to finally start to find myself again outside of streaming. This is so touching, man. You know what this reminds me of? This I glaze My Hero Academia so much, but this reminds me so much of My Hero Academia, man. The enemies that Deku helped in the past are that were manipulated by All Might. They come around and help out in the end. Like, this is what this reminds me of, bro. Like, this is so beautiful that so much people are coming out, even though we may hate Hexjuice. I don't hate Hexjuice that much. Like, I know some of you guys really hate Hexjuice, but we have to take what she's saying as a, so she may be a rat or snake, as we all may say. It is nonetheless still good that she's coming out with this. If you've gotten this far, thank you. I hope it helps you understand me better. If I can trouble you by giving you a piece of advice, don't stake so much emotion on content creators in the future. In my experience, large content creators are disappointing when you meet them. Trust yourself and your opinions most of all, and keep skepticism for those who seek to feed an opinion to you. My content creation brings the worst out of people. Content creation brings the worst out of people, especially streamers. Be careful about the creators you watch. They'll probably let you down. I've experienced this many times. To Tectone directly. Okay. I know you were reading this because you read everything about yourself constantly. I'm sure that one of your mods sent you this almost immediately. I genuinely care for you as a friend from the bottom of my heart. It was never about the money or clout or views for me. It was I just wanted to make cool content and talk to people on stream. I did not care that you were detective and I didn't want anything from you but your friendship. I still do not know how much of the goodness I saw in you was real. I doubt it because like he tries to be nice so he can like gain favors to people and then use them as pawns. So no, it wasn't it wasn't real or my own imagination. I still do not know if you show me kindness out of genuine desire for friendship or has the manipulation to make me feel like I owed you. That you got it right the last time. Good on you, Hexjuice. Later on, you knew how much I valued our friendship and used it against me over and over. Have defended you, tried to see the best in you, and struggle with you with what a vile person you have become. I took the brunt of the harassment after our argument and laundered our public image within Gotcha countless times because I believed in you. I sometimes still don't know if you changed over the time or if you were just always such a foul human being and it hadn't fully come out yet. Yeah, I think he was like that the entire time, Extras. He was like that the entire time. Learning about what you were doing with Pink while I knew you shoved me in me it. You showed me it was the latter. I accept so much of your mistreatment because I knew you were incredibly troubled by your past, using his past to gain sympathy. How pathetic. That you struggle with your schizophrenia, and I felt so sure that underneath all of it, there was a soul that just wanted to be accepted. Uh, the only thing I have ever wanted for you was to stop streaming and go to therapy. It doesn't change now. You inflicted yourself on everyone around you because you are clearly miserable. Streaming will never be your way out of that. You will continue to spread your misery to the people close to you until your last days unless you accept that you are the actual core of all your problems, which is true. I don't think you are capable of changing these things about yourself at this point. I'm not that naive. I just hope that maybe if you stay away from streaming and find a counselor, you can make a few less people fucking miserable. Oh my god. She meant that, man. You can make a few less people fucking miserable. That came from the heart. I know you won't do that, and I know that you are far more likely to hate and shit talk all of your enemies until you're old and unhappy and alone on stream. My God, bro, you call him your friend next to what the fuck? But I never wanted to hear that I wasn't genuinely your friend out of your mouth. I bent myself backwards, taking your dick, of course, trying to believe that you weren't the malicious, vicious asshole that you clearly are. I might have been stupid for it, but I really did care about you, man. For the tech, I know what makes this even more valuable because this is a former associate of Tectone. Like if it was like a hater from Tectone, then you can shake it off and say that okay, this guy's like a hater for Tectone, like they do with him with Miskiff. They say that he's a hater of Tectone, so you shouldn't validate him. Hexjuice used to be a dick rider for Tectone, #1 fan. So if it's coming from her, you know that it's serious. She even to the point stabbed M-Tash in the back for Tectone, which she should apologize for. I hope she did apologize to M-Tash about that, either in private or like publicly. Hopefully she did. To Tectone's friends still defending him. That includes your Saint Tontas, your Blazion, others, Gotcha Smack. I'm mostly disappointed in Gotcha Smack because Gotcha Smack has a wife. He has children. Like, how are you gonna be there having a wife, having children, and not sympathizing with what Pink Chu had to go through in this? You say that it's not my business. Oh, some of you were my friends and were very accepting and kind of me. I want to acknowledge that and appreciate it before I make it clear how disgusted I am by the choice to continue to defend this man. Many of you are talented content creators and make mistakes that your choice and make no mistake that your choice to ally yourself with Tectone will stain your career forever, no matter what you do. More importantly, it has stained the quality of your character. And I've been saying that a long time ago, that siding with Tectone is gonna harm your career because you're gonna be forever known as the guy that defended a sexual assaulter. You guys don't know how deep that is in YouTube terms, in content creation. If you get outed for a sexual assault or a PDF file, like that thing sticks with you for life. For life. And you're gonna be there known as the guy that went to bat for a guy that sexually assaulted his girlfriend and did some horrible shit to him. Got Bro, I hope that all of you eventually begin to see the world as it is outside of that toxic little Tectone bubble. I have watched this man treat all of you badly, using you like pawns in games that only serve him. This man doesn't respect you, often doesn't pretend to even like you, and yet you will support him through this. It's absurd. It's pathetic, and it will come to haunt you. Okay, before I go into Hexjuice fans, bro, I'm gonna say this straight. Vote with your wallets. The persons currently that I know of that is currently hard on Tectone's side, Asmongold because he hasn't denounced it. Gotcha Smack because he's turning a blind eye to it. Like, the thing that I don't like about Gotcha Smack's situation and Asmongold, I think both of them are in this. It's like, if you see a girl, if you're in an alleyway and you see a girl getting abused and you just turn your back to it and pretend like you're not seeing it. This is what Gotcha Smack and Asmongold is currently doing. It is not good. Then we have Saint Tontas and Blazion that I've known of so far. And we have Legal Mindset and that other content creator that wear the knight armor. Unsubscribe to them. It's as simple as that. Stop following them. Cut them out of your life. If they're willing to defend a sexual assaulter, just let it go. It's as simple as that. Let it go. Then you see them walk back. When they realize that they're losing a lot of subscribers from it, that's when they'll walk it back. To the true Hexjuice fans, I'm sorry that it came down to this. Many of you understand my intentions and belief. You were incredibly kind and supportive of my endeavors as a silly Batgirl VTuber. Not all of content creation was bad. The long streams with you all were the best part. I will cherish your acceptance and support for the rest of my life. To my friends, thank you. You were my anchor in the treacherous sea. and I think I would have gone completely insane without you. If I had to do it all over again, I would. If only I meet you, all of you, my phone family again. So this was a big one, guys. We got through all of it. I don't know how much this time this is, but like my final thoughts on the situation is that this is good. Like I understand people may hate Hexjuice, but the fact that it's like it holds more value when it's Tectone's own people that are coming out against Tectone. Like if it was like me or Fox Soul or EO or Mr. Pokey, somebody or Miss Kiv or Hassan, then people can easily pull it up to say that, you know, we have a 8 boner against him, so it's not valuable. When this is somebody that's actually on Tectone's circle, and the timing of this is absolutely beautiful too. I understand many people hated that she's just now coming out with it, but if she had come out with this beforehand, before everything was confirmed, I think people would disavow this and say that it's fake and something like that. So I think this timing is good. Like I remember one of the guys mentioned that where are the days of the Google Docs? Well, here we have it, guys. We have the Google Docs. So it's confirmed this drama is real. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you guys next time.